Hello. Whoa. Screen just went black for a second. That's a great sign. Real good sign. Real good sign. Hey, Punk Daddies, see you there? Welcome to the stream today, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. Gemma, good to see you there. See lots of others showing up here. The Fulton One paperback. Love to hold the book. Kayla, hello there. Vita, audiobooks for the win. Nice. No, with the share. Thanks so much for that. Akaira, you paperback for sure. Jessica says paperback all the way. Amanda with the share. Gemma with the share. Thanks so much for that. Diana says QOD all three. Kayla all three as well. Hey, Caswell, Australia. Good to see you there. Oop, I'm getting lost. Katie, Wolfie Shadow, all types there. Nice. Jessica, good to see you there. Annie, always a good vibe when I'm live. Thanks so much. Appreciate that. Yeah, we've been having some camera lag issues. Sorry for that. Don't know what the deal is. Don't know what the deal is. Macy B. says, gotta have the physical book. Paperback. Lot of paperback. Folks. Audio books. Alejandra, good to see you there. Chelsea says, audiobook. Candy CLKB, paperback. Jenna, paperback unless you're being impatient. And then it's the ebook. Granny D with the hardcover. Oh, about the Princess Bride, Walter Nitty. That's cool. Tawana with the share there. Thanks so much for that. Greatly appreciate it. Justina, equal audiobooks and paperbacks. Tony Spark, audiobook. Shocking. Alex like the ebooks, but the paperback is the favorite. There's something about having that physical thing, right, to put on a shelf. Tanya with the share. Be not afraid with the share. Savannah. Thanks so much, Anastasia. Alvarez. Frankie J's mom with the shares there as well. The audio is a full-on performance nowadays. That's true, Bill. That's true. I think it probably depends on narrator probably has a lot to do with it, but also being able to hear somebody act it out. If you prefer that over how you read in your mind, right? Because everybody reads aloud in their mind while you're reading a book like that. So I guess it's just a matter of preference. If you like your own internal narrator voice, ebooks and paperbacks. If you like to be told the story, probably audiobook. Amber, Tony Spark with the share. Thanks so much. Thanks, Tony Spark. Thumbs up from the bro there. Hey, Wolfie Shadow with the Heart Me. Dixon Cider Mom with the Heart Me there as well. Denise with the auto renewal subscription to always stay a member of the Gosh Heckin' fam. Be not afraid. Tony Spark, Kimberly P, Amaryl, Hecky, Justina, Granny D, Chris, feeling like a Pisces, Carol Jaworski, Gil Queen, Elizabeth, Tanya, Jill, Carrie Lee, Elizabeth, Myra Catalina, Carol again, feeling like a Pisces again there, Brendan Menardi, Carrie Lee, Ronnie, member of the Gosh Heckin' fam, heck yeah. Glad to have you. Diana, Rebecca, thanks so much for that. Kimberly P, Mrs. Drex, Jasmine, Denise, Lauren B, Donna D, Frankie J's mama, Katie, Melissa B, Wolfie Shadow. Thanks so much for that. We do have a goal of 3K bolts to get Candy Thunder up here to start the show off. Hey, Peter, good to see you there. Welcome to the stream. Now we're just getting started up. Akizanara, just getting started. Getting ready to do our intro here and dive into some books. Candy says, my books would have to be audiobooks to receive the whole experience. There's a lot of people who might like both. I don't know. It's one of the reasons for the QOD today, though. Jen, thanks for the share. Greatly appreciate that. Little lizard emoji, dude, with the share, too. Sarah S. officially says audiobooks. Being Not Afraid. Ann and Bracker with the shares there, too. Thanks so much for that. Fane, thanks so much for the love on piano, man. Greatly appreciate that. Sarah S. officially with the share there, too. Thanks so much. Let's dive in, shall we? Shall we rock and roll? Stephanie, Nels with the shares there too. Thanks so much for that. Let's rock and roll here. Welcome to the stream. QOD today is, of course, ebook, audiobook, or paperback. It'll kind of be an ongoing discussion for us here. Coming up, we have stories about family vacation drama, inappropriate birthday gifts, and no, I wasn't the one to give them. Wedding drama with overbearing mothers. I know that's a complete shock. Picky eaters, roommate bathroom issues, first date etiquette issues. It'd be funny if those two happened at the same time. Roommate bathroom etiquette and first date etiquette. And of course, cake stories and a spicy story as well. First goal today is 3K bolts to get Kaden Thunder up here, who is rocking a very Valentine-y kind of look today. I like it. She's got her hearts rocking on. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with anything. I'm just up here free floating. Like the flailing inflatable tube guy. We have a podcast coming out this coming Sunday. It is the podcast with Bree, a.k.a. Sassy Merlot. That's going to be a heck of a good time. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Also, tonight, 7 p.m. Central Time, Piano Man Part 3, the final part, drops on YouTube, Spotify, all the other audio podcast channels. And at the same gosh heckin' time, I'm releasing the full 3-part story all in one file too. So if you have not dove into it yet and you want to dive into Piano Man, you'll have the ability to dive in from beginning to end. It is 3.5 hours long. So probably one of those things that you're going to want to chip away at. But it was originally a story to fall asleep to. Still works really well as that for a lot of people. It gets a little more tense as time goes on there. And if you are one of those people who like ebooks and audiobooks, those two are coming too. We have Piano Man ebook and paperback on the way. So here within the next week, we should have some links for you and some news about where you can get those two if you want them. We'll see what happens with this thing. I don't know. It's my first fictional work. So we don't have any idea what to expect. We're just going to ride the wave and see what happens with it. We're already talking about what the next story could be, though. And I think it's going to be a co-writing thing with Kaden Thunder and I. That's going to be cool. If you have not already, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. We just upped the posting frequency there recently, so there are more videos per day. Plus, you get the podcast. Plus, you get things like Piano Man and all kinds of cool stuff. So if you're not subscribed there, definitely go check it out. A note here. We have gotten a bunch of messages and emails from followers about fake Dusty Thunder accounts. We are aware those exist. This account you're watching right now at Dusty Thunder _ is the only Dusty Thunder account. That's it. There is no other one. There is no _US. There is no _ anything. If people are messaging you directly, asking you to send them money, posing as Dusty Thunder, it is not us. We will never message you and ask for money. So yeah, we're aware that it's happening. We've reported all kinds of them. With little luck in getting anything taken down, but just be aware Dusty Thunder _ is the only profile that we have. Anything else, anyone else that messages you pretending to be us is not us. So just say no. Just say no to him. We did hit our first goal here already. Let's go ahead and get some love thrown out here for that. Bogus Truck Life leading the board. Savina, Wolfie Shadow Fox, Anita Dickens, Fly on the Wall, Kimberly P, Prep Girl, Pixie Dust, Nikki Bernal, Keiki 323, Tony Sparks, Sapphires, Dawn Banks, Amber L. Hickey, Fane. TikTok Live Studio has still not fixed the program, so I've got to read the rest from the phone again. Luckily, Tony Sparks on top of it. Jenna Tuatha, Pam K. It's Jasmine Namian? Is that right? It's Jasmine Namian? Donna, Tanya Wambolt, Berlioz, Justina, Denise, Lacey Lex, and the Effulgent One. Thanks so much for the love there, guys. We're going to get the next one set up and then get Candy Thunder up here. Our next goal will unlock a cake story and confetti. Cake story. It's like a confetti cake, right? We have 650 donuts to get us rocking on that cake story and confetti. In the meantime, let's go ahead and bring her up. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Candy Thunder. Oh my God, it's Kaden Thunder.
I thought you were gonna. Yeah, this is my Valentine's outfit.
Isn't it adorable?
It's cute.
After all the hearts are stitched in there too. Very cool. And she's got the matching heart socks. You want to go ahead and hike your leg all the way up here to show them?
I'm not gonna hike. My jeans would probably rip out the bottom. I'm not gonna put my leg on the desk. That's this
step up just a little bit.
Okay. I want to make sure that you don't forget to hit record.
It's already recording. I made sure it's recording this time.
I don't want people to.
We don't want to be responsible.
Yeah, we're not responsible for that.
Sometimes I forget to do things that are important.
No freaking way. Yay! Megan, we're twins. I have a heart sweater and socks on today.
Look at that. Yes. You were just feeling the vibe.
Very. So Ava and I bought this shirt last night, and we bought it so that we can share it because she's old enough now where we can share clothes. So it's like, it doesn't feel like you're paying as much if two people get to use it, right?
That's more girl math.
Yeah, it's girl math. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, somehow she comes back from Target and Kohl's making money with bags of stuff. I don't know how it works, but she's just really good at shopping. Also,
I get paid to shop.
The fact that the girls are now in this phase where they can all share stuff makes folding laundry and dividing it up really difficult because I'm like, I don't know whose shit this is. Yeah, it's just one big pile, and I'm like, Kaden Thunder, you're gonna have to look through this because I don't know.
My leggings get sent upstairs quite often, and then Ava won't give them back, or I'll see Kieran wearing one of my sweatshirts, and I'm like, oh, that's mine. But it's fine. It is what it is. Target math. Yeah, that's right.
100%.
So we live. There's a Target in Joplin, and we live like really close to Target, so we go there instead of going to like Walmart or something, and it just feels less stressful whenever you go to Target instead of Walmart for
Unless
us.
you have Navy Thunder with you.
Yeah.
And then it's a journey no matter what.
The sweater is from Target. Yes. I think there were a few questions asked that. Yes, they have it in like size 0 to 3 months all the way up to like 3XL. So you can match with your babies. And I feel like it's unisex. It's not really like a girly sweater. Like a little boy could wear this.
Sure. I'd wear it.
I'd put it, if I had a little one, I'd put him in it.
I'll wear it.
Is he from Target? Yes, I picked him up there.
Yes.
I actually picked him up at Outback Steakhouse.
That was the first time.
Actually, I did not pick you up at Outback Steakhouse.
Yeah, she came home with me from Target and made money still. I don't know how it works. It's some kind of dark magic, but it's amazing. Okay, before we start diving into this, it has been like single digit or negative degrees here for the past several days.
I know. Our bill, our electric and gas bill is going to be, I don't even want to know.
Yeah.
Because it was just running nonstop.
We dealt with the frozen pipe stuff. Everybody in the tundra has been dealing with a lot of this stuff. How do you feel like you've held up mentally and emotionally with being pretty much cooped up for the past almost week?
Not well, as I got out last night and braved the temperatures just to grocery shop to get out of our house. So when school's canceled, Ava can stay home, but Navy's school gets canceled when Joplin schools gets canceled. And so I was just staying home with Navy, and I really, really like my time that I get to step away from the house. And
me time is essential to parent sanity, and you haven't had hardly any of that.
And Navy being a toddler being cooped up without being able to like go outside in any way, shape, or form because it was so cold. It was like chapping her cheeks. Was just I hated it.
So I feel for people. Fever too.
Yeah, I feel for people that live in that all the time, and maybe you adjust to it and it's just your norm. But for us, this was really cold.
Well, and Navy got into a habit. She got into a rhythm, into a schedule, into a routine. All those words mean the same thing, I guess. But I was searching for routine, where she enjoyed going to school, like finally warmed up to it, wanted to see her friends, and then didn't get to over Christmas break, and it kind of broke the schedule, and you could tell it bugged her. And then we get back into school, finally get back up to speed with that, and then this weather happens and it breaks it again. And she's been different since being stuck at home.
Iowa Gen, yes, we were actually. Dustin worked for the ad agency, and it was actually one of the businesses that was destroyed by the.
Oh, we're talking about the
tornado.
The Twister. Yeah, the previous agency office was at 20th and Connecticut, which was one of the big intersections that got just plowed. And I found that computer may still be around somewhere. I found a computer it was my computer underneath a brick wall that had collapsed on it, and spent the next few months like rebuilding things and got it back up and working again. I don't use it anymore, but it's probably still around. It was crazy.
So Jenna with a G said that's why they say Canadians are friendly. I think we're just cooped up and need interaction. That's good. That's funny. I love that.
That makes sense.
All right, let's kick off the first story. Dusty, are you recording?
Yes.
Okay.
I am recording.
Okay.
Ladies
Bye,
and gentlemen,
guys.
Kaden Thunder. Love you, Tater. Yes, we're recording. This is proof. I mean, if I wasn't recording, we wouldn't have the proof to save because it wouldn't be recorded. But I know we end up having to download the file from TikTok, and then it has the likes bar on there. And it's just. You guys never got blamed. It's always my fault.
Chat with Betty to differ.
Chat said it was on.
Oh, chat said. I was like, not me. No. If I forget to record, it's on me, guys. 100% on me. It's my fault. It is my fault. Okay, let's dive into our first story for the day. This one comes from the AITA subreddit and is titled, "Am I the astronaut for acknowledging that my boyfriend's family doesn't like me and declining an invite to a trip with them? I really don't see the problem here, but my boyfriend is perturbed, so I'm going to see if I'm losing it. My boyfriend Dan and I have been together for about a year. We live in a big city while Dan is from the country, so he doesn't see his family that often. However, I have met them several times and they don't like me. That's fine. I'm not overly keen on them either. We just have nothing in common. I can see them cringing when I talk, and they make snide comments about me wanting to stay in a hotel if I visit with Dan, etc. I want to be clear, I don't have any problem with this. We are all civil and can have a pleasant time over a weekend or whatever, and it really is fine that I'm not their ideal in-law. They're not mine either, but the facts are the facts. So the other night, Dan and I were having dinner with a friend of mine, and Dan mentioned his sister wanted my number so that she could invite me to a girls' weekend with her, Dan's mother, and Dan's sister-in-law. I said he could give her my number, but I'm not going to go on the trip. But I would like to be polite and tell her myself and thank her for the invitation. My friend asked why I wouldn't go, and I said because Dan's family doesn't like me, and I'm not going to ruin their weekend and mine by going on the trip. Dan balked at this and asked why I would say something like that. I said because it's true. Dan didn't deny this, just said that was a crass thing to say. Sorry, words are hard. Dan didn't deny this, just said that it was a crass thing to say, and they invited me, so I should go. I said absolutely not. Dan dropped the idea of me going, still thinks I should, but knows he won't win that battle, but is still saying that I shouldn't have been so blunt in saying that they don't like me, that it was an inappropriate thing to say, and paints them in a bad light. I don't think it does at all. It's not a crime to not like people, and you don't choose your in-laws. What are the odds you actually like them? We're all civil, and that's what counts. Dan is still upset about it, and I don't really see why he's offended. Edit, I got told to add this for context about their dislike of me. How I know they don't like me. They make disparaging remarks about the way that I dress, the car that I drive, and my cosmetic surgery to my face. They ask me inappropriate personal questions. They complain about me to Dan. He told me this. They don't like me. I'm not imagining it. They don't. Okay, let's talk about this for a moment. Jenna Tuatha says truth equals crass. Sounds like gaslighting. Mary, thanks for the follow. Stephanie and Amber, thanks for the share. They're greatly appreciated. Dan seems to be in denial. Jenna says, yeah, can't blame her. Aaron says, Tony Sparks out here mod blocking DC My Private Video people, which is great. Thanks for that, Tony Spark. Much appreciated. Candy Thunder's over there eating some kind of really, really noisy snack. Chanel with the follow. Tim Tams. She's got her Tim Tams out. Yeah, Candy Thunder is getting a little low on Tim Tams, folks. So I'm just kidding. She said, don't say that. Don't say that. Oh, gosh. Candy, is it Candy? Maybe his family shouldn't make themselves look bad, Tiara says. You know, I think it would be interesting for OP's hubby here to have a conversation with his family, because it doesn't sound like he's talked to them at all about, what problem they have with her. They have enough of a problem to speak openly about it in front of her and ask her inappropriate questions, probably in an attempt to make her feel uncomfortable. So it's no secret for them. It is no secret at all. Tony, I think you're accidentally hitting buttons in the title on the doc. Something's happening there. Yeah, adding spaces. Just saying. I think it's no secret to them. The only person surprised by this is probably the hubs. And he just wants to pretend like it's not a problem so that it goes away. They may have invited him, or they may have invited her on this trip to try to bond, to try to solve whatever that issue is. But if they're just that different of people, how likely is that to happen? Now, that's not to say that you can't be friends with people who are different, because a lot of people who are wildly different can be friends, can be, family members that really like each other. It doesn't have to mean you live the same kind of life, but it seems like pretty early on they accepted the fact that they weren't going to like her because she was different. Talking about the way she dresses, her cosmetic surgery, what she drives, just who she is as a person, her lifestyle. They don't like her lifestyle, probably because they don't see it as blending with their family and their lifestyle. It's not a reason to not like somebody. But OP is like, okay, no big deal. No big deal. I think it would be interesting to know what the motivations are behind that invitation. Is it because they really want to build upon something, or are they just inviting her to invite her because they'll feel bad if they exclude just her? Or is it because they want to make her life hell for the duration of the trip? I don't know. The question here, am I the astronaut for acknowledging that my boyfriend's family doesn't like me and declining an invite to a trip with them? No, hell no. There's nothing that says that because somebody invites you to do something, you have to do it. She was going to politely decline. What's the problem here? Maybe, it's boyfriend. Okay, maybe boyfriend Dan here guilted them into including her with an invitation, and that's why he's upset about this. Maybe that's why he has an opinion about it at all. That's the only thing I can think of here. Or because they'll look bad if he says no, Beigeberry. They'll, meaning him and OP. Morgan says, could the boyfriend be planning to surprise her by showing up and proposing? It doesn't sound like the family would be helpful in facilitating that. I think, if anything, they talked about the trip. He maybe got upset with them for not including her, guilted them into extending an invitation to her, and then he's pissed because she's going to say no. And he's like, well, what did I go to bat for this for? It's possible. Right? Is the sound of the Tim Tam chewing like too loud to be able to hear the story? You had the deer in the headlights look for a second. You're like, what are you talking about? I need to clean those things off. Deborah, hello, thanks so much. I greatly appreciate that. Boyfriend. It's a boyfriend. It says, my boyfriend Dan and I have been together for about a year. Man, they've only been together a year. Let's talk about that for a second, because if they've only been together a year, they haven't seen each other. She hasn't had that many interactions with the family. It's kind of early to make that determination, isn't it? And if they're a year in, it could be entirely possible that the family is trying to build a rapport with her by inviting her on this trip. Still, NTA in my book. K-Babe, you say, yup, it's a red flag. In response to Amanda, what did Amanda say here? I've been in OP's shoes. He probably agrees with some of what the family says, so he won't speak up. Well, then why is he with her? Why would you be with someone that you don't appreciate their lifestyle? Or you don't accept it? I guess that's what I don't understand. Yeah, why is he with her if he's got a problem with it? The thing that makes the most sense to me is that he went to bat for her and guilted them into it, and he's trying to force them to accept her as a part of the family. That's why he got upset about it. He's got no other reason other than like it's her not trying to integrate into his family, which may be a signal to him that it's not going to be a long-term relationship. Just to be able to say that he's got a girlfriend. Fuble says it's only been a year. Maybe you talk to his family and ask for them to bond. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. I think if he was that much of a mama's boy and mom and the other members of the family didn't like his girlfriend, she'd be gone by now. Gabby, maybe it's a test. That's possible. Yeah, it's possible. Lady Green Eyes says, dated someone for 1.5 years with the exact same scenario. His family didn't want to include me. Okay, Lady Green Eyes, let's stick with that for a second. If you had this exact same scenario, did they invite you because somebody forced them to? Because he forced them to? Yeah, okay. Well, it's a possibility. I mean, obviously, we don't know what the real story is behind that or how it really came about, but I think we can deduce that some scenarios are more likely than others. In this case, I really think that he went to bat for it, and now he's pissed because she's not reciprocating that effort. But you cannot force people to like each other, and he's willing to put everyone in a really awkward situation that he's not even going to be there for in hopes that they'll just come out of it besties. It's probably not going to happen. They're just too different. It's fine. It's fine. He thinks his job is just to get them in the same place, locked together, and that after a couple of days, everything will work itself out. If he had to go be a part of that awkward situation, it would probably be an entirely different story. Lady Green Eyes, not me, Giddy, that I was mentioned. It was very helpful. You had helpful input there. Thank you. Maybe starting with the girls' lunch would be better. I would not agree to being trapped for a weekend. Yeah, I mean, tiptoe into it. But I think you have to talk to your partner here too and say, hey, is this something you're interested in doing? Is this something you're interested in moving toward? Because she's not. She's just accepted that they're different and they're civil, and that's the end of that. And maybe he wants from a life partner a lot more family integration, so he's trying to make it work before calling it off. Football says he clearly doesn't know how girls work. Hey, Ellen's here. Good to see you. Good to see you. We're at 416 of 650 on the donuts to unlock a cake story and confetti. And I'm going to go ahead and jump into our second story here. Pebbles, thanks so much. Greatly appreciate that. Love the content. Sad I always have to miss your streams, but I listen to your podcast. Thank you. Thank you very much. And if you're just now jumping in and you weren't here earlier when we talked about it, Piano Man Part 3 comes out tonight after the stream at 7 p.m. Central Time. That's Part 3, but also the compilation with all 3 parts comes out too. That's YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of the other audio podcast channels. And here within the next week, we should have some links to share with you for the ebook and the paperback too. Holy cow, it's a real thing. Brittany, thanks so much. Greatly appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and dive in on the next story here. This one is actually a follower submitted story. So OP, if you happen to be in chat today, you know what to do to claim your story. Some do, some don't. That's your call. Completely up to you. Title of this follower submitted story is, Am I the Astronaut for Getting My Nephew a Fart Machine? And again, it wasn't me. I wasn't the one who did this. It sounds like something I would do, but I did not do this. I, 35 female, see, clearly not me. I, 35 female, am a single childless adult. However, I'm a very proud auntie to my 2 nephews, 8 and 6, and 1 niece, 8. My 8-year-old nephew is my brother's 32 male only child, and he and the mom, 31 female, split up not long after my nephew was born. For the sake of my nephew, I've done my best to maintain a relationship with his ex for the sake of being in my nephew's life, although it hasn't always been easy, given the situation with my brother. She's also very passive-aggressive towards all of us, and there's a long history of me going out of my way to accommodate her for things like family holidays with little to no appreciation. I now live in another state, but I do my best to send gifts for Christmas and birthdays when I can afford to do so. This Christmas, I sent him a puzzle-type toy for ages 8 and up. His 8th birthday was a few weeks after Christmas, but since it isn't a matter of him choking on the toy, but rather a recommendation based on ability, and he is very smart, I didn't even think twice about it. However, she sent me a video of him opening the gift, and at the end told him he can't play with it since he isn't 8 years old, and had him ask me why I would send him a gift that he can't play with yet. Oh, we got ourselves another bitch biscuit, folks. Am I not supposed to say that word? Am I offending biscuits everywhere? I was crushed Well, the mom did later say, you can probably play with it anyways. The whole thing felt very passive aggressive to me, as she typically is that way. Yeah. As his birthday approached, she messaged me to let me know what day his party was and to feel free to send the gifts unwrapped and she would wrap them for me. That sounds sus. Great. Makes it much easier for me to send directly from Amazon and save a few bucks on wrapping. Fast forward to today. The gifts arrive and she messages me asking if I made a mistake and sent her the gifts for my niece by mistake. Their birthdays are a few days apart. I said no, I hadn't sent her gift yet since her party is a week later. She responded with the kind of cringe straight face smile emoji. This one. That emoji, to which I replied, is there something wrong with it? All she said was, a fart machine. Well, call me crazy, but I think a fart machine is a great gift for an 8-year-old. I actually searched gifts for 8-year-old boy and sent both the fart machine and a megaphone. Are they loud? Yeah, but that's the fun in being an auntie. Growing up, my aunts and uncles always got me and my brother noisy gifts, and my parents responded by doing the same for their kids once they were parents themselves. I simply responded, yeah, it looked fun. What 8-year-old wouldn't love that? And by the way, I did ask for a list before Christmas and was told he didn't have one. Now I feel like she intentionally asked me to send the gifts unwrapped with the intent to screen the gifts, and he may not even get them. She isn't responding to my messages. So, am I the astronaut? No, you are absolutely not. You are dealing with someone who is not just a helicopter parent, but just feeds on control over the situations completely here. The whole charade about, oh, you can't play with it yet because you're not 8 years old. And it says 8 and up. That was a bitch biscuit play. And it was a power move. And it was bullshit. The fact that she used this child against you like this. The fact that she, in this video, made the child ask why you would send something that he can't play with yet is terrible. And that's a good preview to the kind of shit that she pulls on her ex. So what in the world? It's a terrible situation, and I wouldn't trust her at all. I would not trust her at all. Why talk to her? Why coordinate with her? I'm going back and looking here, and I'm like, she's the ex. For the sake of my nephew, I've done my best to maintain a relationship with his ex for the sake of being in my nephew's life. Why can't she be a part of her nephew's life through her brother? Maybe he doesn't get to see him, because the smart play here would be, don't play the games with this passive aggressive control freak. Just develop a relationship with this child through your brother. It sounds like that's not an option somehow, but she doesn't go into why. Maybe he doesn't have visitation. Maybe I don't know what the issue is, but that sucks. If that is an option at all, I would lean into creating the relationship with him through the brother. If that's not an option, then shit, I don't know. Definitely don't send unwrapped gifts. Even if you do send wrapped gifts now, she's probably going to unwrap them to screen them anyway, just because she wants to control everything and make everyone else look bad. That sucks. This is a her problem, and there's nothing that you can do to solve that. You just have to try to work around it. It is definitely a her problem. That control, that need for control comes from a deep-rooted insecurity. So just recognize it's not a you problem. And sooner or later, the kid will find it out. It's going to take some years, but they'll figure it out. And then you can be the cool aunt who gets to do all kinds of fun stuff. But while they're under her immediate and total control, it's going to be gated by games. Yvonne says, send them wrapped through Amazon so they get delivered the day of. I mean, I still think she would unwrap them. Yeah, well, it's definitely micromanaging. I think it's a control game. And it's probably one of these things where she wants to shit on everyone else's gift to make hers look better. It's a thing. People do it. Even if it was the coolest gift in the world, she would find a way to shit on it, probably to make her gifts look better or just to make everyone else's look bad. And there are those kind of people. We've talked about this. Those kind of people don't rise by lifting others up. They rise by climbing on the backs of people and shoving them down. This is just how this person is. Bex, thanks so much for the share. Greatly appreciate that. Overkill Mill, dude, my kids were given a drum set and I embraced it. Let them have fun. I would like a drum set. Send the gifts to the brother instead, Granny D. That's what I'm saying, but it sounds like that's not an option. NTA is not the astronaut. Oh, Kaden Thunder already took care of answering that. Ellie, Lauren, MJ, thanks so much for the shares there too. Keegan, thanks so much for the share there as well. My brother has paid me back times 10. Yeah, that's the fun part. When you get to do that with your siblings' kids. Merm, thanks for the follow, Dreadzone. Thanks for the share. Greatly appreciate that. Clarinda Sydney with the share there too. 494 of 650 on the donuts right now to get the cake story and some confetti out here rocking and rolling. Wow, Victoria. That doesn't sound like a good situation at all. Ellie says, my sister has done this for years and I've done it back. That's the best part of being an auntie. What, you mean sending gifts like a fart machine? I don't remember getting anything like extremely annoying for nieces or nephews. Kinetic sand? Well, I mean, what are you going to do? Like, all the fun stuff is messy or loud or...
They made a comment about it before about the girl really wanted.
It sounds like the kind of story that your microphone would love to hear. Send a drum set next time. There you go. And make sure it's something completely visible so there's no way it can be hidden from the kid. That'd be the way to go. But it sounds right now, again, like OP has no choice but to pursue this relationship through the mom and not through the dad for whatever reason, which is the really shitty part. C. Larson, thanks so much for the rose there. Amanda, Pam K. Lexi, Bobby F. with the donuts there. Meg's World with 50 of them donuts. That's right. There's no second F in 50. Just 50. Shannon Aaron, John Bogus, Kimberly P, Victoria, Bobby F, TLS, Amanda, Dreadzone, Janine, Lenutza, MJ Newcomb, Janine, 88 Debs, Meg's World again with more donuts there. Ellie Dove, MJ, Lauren B, Faye, Lori 1020, 88 Debs, Faye there again, TLS, Sammy, Satan's Devil Child sending donuts through. Thank you very much. Heather 8668, Bree, Fella Hermit Fairy, Faye with the sub. Welcome to the Gosh Heckin' fam. Ellen, Virginia, Lori 1020 there again. Thanks so much. 84 Nad, Crystal LV, Michelle Heather TLS, Lil Red Corvette Girl, Jessica Kearns, Be Present, Victoria Tony Spark, Kimberly P, Melissa, thanks so much, guys. Greatly appreciated. Amanda Tilley, thanks so much for the share. Egan Woodward with the follow. Thanks for that. Ryu with a follow too. Thanks so much for that. Kristen, hi from Denver. Go Chiefs. Go Chiefs. So let's see what happens. These are going to be some crazy friggin' playoffs. Feel super bad for Philly. Like Philly feels like they just kind of got. I feel bad for Jason Kelsey. We'll say it that way. Philly had an exposed moment. Cowboys had an exposed moment. Man, tough time for those fans. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with our Chiefs. Emma, thanks for the follow. Ebaloo with the share. Thanks so much for that. Honey Bee with the share there too. Anna with the follow. Ashley with the share. Thanks so much for that. Heck yeah. All right. We are at 618 to 650. We're going to hit that donut goal before we move on to the next one here. Green Bay is doing good with love. Jessica, yeah. Green Bay is doing really, really well. It's wild. Also Texans, rookie QB and rookie head coach. This is a wild time for the NFL. It's just the whole season has been upside down. And yet somehow the Chiefs still make it into the playoffs. And win at least round one. Poor Tyreek. I feel really bad for Reek. Not Tyreek, only Reek now. No more football. Only sit on couch now. Sorry. We gotta clip that. Okay, we hit the donut goal here. Meg's World leading the board here. Savina, TLS Journey, Kimberly P, Misha Taylor, Prep Girl, Michelle Heather, Susan R. Smart, Overkill Mill, Kit Loves Books, Sapphires, Fane 13, Pam K, Snow Ecstasy, Keiki, Tony Spark. Can't see past number 15 there. Do you have the phony phone? Who would be? Oh crap! I forgot his name. Who's the guy who makes Reek? Ramsay Bolton. Okay, so who would be Ramsay Bolton in this scenario? Who? Sneed? Sneed, yeah. Yeah. Tony Spark, Funktown Ninja, Abra Hickey, Suan 257, Steph JB, Wendy Taylor, Kay Schaefer, Mama Silver, Not That Ellen, Debbie Hughes, Matt Amazing, Jenna Tuatha, Tanya D, aka T, Mandy Flores, MJ Newcomb, Satan's Devil Child, Lacey Lex, Faye of the Wilds, Bogus Drug Life, Shannon Aaron, Annie Butcher, Fibrofit Queen. Was that just like one giant strand of confetti? Like, wow. That's impressive. Find Your Peace, Diana 5520, Lori M, Denise Burkhardt, Sassy Cassie, Tired Mom, Heather 8668 is the Dolls. We've got Stithrahan and Fell Hermit Fairy. Thank you guys so much for that. Greatly appreciate the love. Gotta get the confetti off of myself now. Let me get the next one set up here, and we'll dive into that cake story. By golly. Whoop. We'll turn that boy off. Hardback, Ashley. So I had the option of creating a hardback for Piano Man, and I didn't do it yet. I guess I can. I just assumed that people didn't do the hardback thing anymore. I don't know why. This one is going to be a Tony Spark appearance. Heck yeah. It is. How many of these? We have 2K Fire as the next goal here. Let me pin that real quick. There we go. We're at 26% of our likes goal right now. Large, fancy hardback for the coffee table. I might have to do it. I might have to set one up. I don't think it with I'm using Kindle Direct Publishing, and I don't think there's any additional kind of cost or any upfront cost to do it. So I will dive into making that available for those who want a hardback. I don't know why we're getting a lag there either. Sorry. All the above. Macy B and hardbacks are the best. You know what? I might do. Yeah. I'll take a run at it. I'll see what I can do. I'll see if I can make that available for you. And we did, I think we're going to try to get our hands on some too so we can do some signed copies for Wheel of Thunder, which is going on today as well. We didn't talk about it yet. Wheel of Thunder is happening again. We take the top 10 gifters for the day. We take 2 new members of the Storm, 2 existing members of the Storm, and we'll spin the wheel a couple of times during the VIP live that happens after the public live ends. So be aware. Be aware. Oh, Merm, that's interesting. You listen to the audiobook while you read the physical copy. Huh. Linda, thanks so much. Greatly appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know that I'd be, I don't know that I could hang. Okay, we are to cake reward story number 1, correct, Mr. Producer? Cake story number 1?
Yeah, we're debating the listening to an audiobook.
So this has caused a major debate in here about the ability to listen to an audiobook while reading the actual book. I mean, when I narrate them, I'm reading it aloud. You could do it. You'd just be following along with someone.
So Miles makes the argument that it's like listening to a teacher read, and like you follow.
It's been a long time since I've done that.
That's what Miles is saying.
Okay, but I'm also a person with dyslexia, so.
Okay. But also,
it's
I feel like if the audiobook is going at a different pace than what you can read, or you read faster than, that's what happened. I feel like I would read faster than what they're reading, and then it would like mess with my head and like. Yeah.
I have captions. We have captions on when we watch movies and stuff all the time now, just out of sheer habit. But
I usually can read them faster.
Right. I don't know. You know what? That'd be worth an experiment. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try listening to an audiobook and reading the text and see if it's actually something that could do. Yeah, and you can speed up an audiobook. Pitch would just increase a little bit. Yeah. Kaden Thunder says, I'm telepathic. I can read with my mind. I mean, everyone reads with their mind. Oh, this is the funny part. Oh, this kid. Okay, here's our cake reward story here. This is from the AITAH subreddit and is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Throwing Cake in Someone's Face? You better have a damn good reason. So to start this out, I feel really shitty, and I just need to know if I need to apologize directly to this person. Well, you already said you feel shitty. I think it's probably a good precursor here, isn't it? I, 25 female, was at my friend's daughter's birthday. I was there with my 3-year-old daughter. My friend's younger brother, male 21, was there, and he was trying to put the birthday girl, his niece, face in the cake. Faith in the cake? Let me read that line again. My friend's younger brother, male 21, was there, and he was trying to put the birthday girl's face in the cake, which is his niece. We were all telling him no, and he thought it was funny and put some of her face in it anyways. Whatever. Afterward, my daughter was in line waiting for the cake patiently and excited. The cake had flowers, and the brother went up to my daughter, who he doesn't know, it's the first time he met us, and told my daughter to smell the flowers. I look over and he slams my daughter's face into the cake, and she is crying with cake in her nose. How old is this kid? She's 3? OP just pissed Kaden Thunder off. Not OP. Whatever this guy's name is. Jabroni Joe. Yeah. Joe Brony. That's his name. She is saying her nose hurts, and he's just laughing the whole time and did not apologize. My daughter's upset and inconsolable, and she keeps just asking, and she just keeps saying, he's laughing at me. I felt so angry I was shaking. When I got my plate and piece of cake, I took it to him and slammed my whole piece of cake all over his face. He was standing next to his girlfriend. I overdid it. I know. I let my anger take over me. My friend is not mad. She said he deserves it, but I feel like she just wants to be nice. I feel like I looked crazy in front of everyone, and I was impulsive. I apologized over and over to my friend, and she insisted it was funny and that he learned his lesson. I have never done anything physical to someone so impulsively. He looked mad. He had to go to the bathroom and get it all off, and his girlfriend looked mad, helping him clean his face. What would you have done? Am I the astronaut? Hell no, you're not the astronaut. This, in my opinion here, this isn't even an equivalent. An adult male comes up to your 3-year-old kid and slams their face into a cake. The equivalent there is a lot more than just shoving a piece of cake in his face. It sounds like if he enjoys picking on little kids and that makes him feel tough, looks like you need to go find a giant and come back with him to show him what the equivalent of that would be. This is, he was an asshole. He was an absolute asshole. I don't think, personally, I don't think you went far enough, OP, and I sure as shit wouldn't be apologizing for it. I would be talking to the friend here and being like, why is your boyfriend such an asshole? Also, hopefully you guys don't end up having kids because you just saw that he's okay tormenting little kids and it makes him feel good. So what the hell? Red flags for that. Red flags for that, dude. Not okay. You know what? Let's celebrate some gift goals here, and then we can bring Tony Spark up to talk about it. Savina leading the board by a mile here. Thanks so much for that. Meg's World in the number 2 slot. Kayla Shinneberry. TLS Journey, Michelle Heather, Econ, Laura, Kimberly P, Pam K, Kit Loves Books, Poetica Rose, Mandy Flores, MJ Newcomb, Tanya D, aka T, Sue Ann 257, Sapphires 96, Tony Sparks all over it here, Prep Girl, White Eyes Cat, Fane, Shannon Aaron, Fell Hermit Fairy, Candy Thunder, Amber L, Hickey, Cup of Tea Daily, Lori M, Boo 77, Not That Ellen, Brooklyn Baby, Juju Girl, Trini Marie, Bogus Truck Life, L. Louise Dove, Lacey Lex, Denise Burkhardt, Fibro Fit Queen. We've got Hard Case in Your Face, Rhonda Mystic Solutions, Stith Rahan, Find Your Peace 15, and Speechless 23. Thanks so much for helping us hit that, guys. We're going to get the next one set up, and we'll get Tony Spark up here to talk about the story as well. This is just wild. It's like, what was that show with Zachary Quinto? The, Quinto? The Slap? It's like that, but this guy, yeah. I would have done a lot more than smash a cake in this guy's face. I can tell you that right now. I'll tell you that for free. Okay, this is going to unlock a spicy reward story and Candy Thunder feedback. Spicy story and candy feedback. We're doing some of these. We have $100 confetti to get us to that point here. We're at 32% on the likes goal right now. I'm pinning our gift goal so we can do that. And why don't we get him up here to talk about the story a little bit? Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Tony Spark. He's got to make the long walk over here so we have time to cheer him on. You would never do this to a kid, would you, Tony Spark?
Listen, this guy is a fucking brozo.
He is a brozo. Here, we can go for it. Hit the brozo button, Tony. Yeah.
Brozo. Terrible. Like, what a piece of shit human being to do. Number one, like Candy Thunder said, why are we shoving people's faces in cakes? It's 2023. I think we need to move on from that. It is what it is. 2024. Sorry. 23, 24. Close enough. But what possesses a 21-year-old adult to just be like, oh, hey, little 3-year-old, look at that flower. Oh, bam, cake in the face. Like, what a moron. Like, why would you do? Imagine if you're at a party and somebody did this to Navy Thunder. First off, you'd have to hold Candy Thunder back. But second, like, what would you do? You watch a grown adult do that to a child.
I can't talk about it on the stream.
Yeah. Like, that guy sucks. Yeah. That guy, straight to ASCON 1, the worst. OP, you should have, like, put the cake in his face and then also hit him or something. Like, you should have done more than just the cake in the face. I feel like cake in the face, kick in the balls, like, I feel like it was deserved.
So there was a story we read the other day about a 12-year-old kid who enjoyed scaring a, like, 3-month-old baby because he thought it was funny to hear babies cry. This is this guy when he's 21.
Psychopath.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Terrible.
And the kid is 3 years old. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's not even like, I can't even think of a situation where it would be like funny to do that, I guess, but just, I don't understand. I don't understand what this dude was thinking. And then to be like, oh, well, it was funny. Like, it was just, And then the fact that, like, did anybody else at the party say anything? The girl was like, oh, you got what you deserved. But, like, nobody's like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. He shouldn't have done that. No, it's just like what are we doing here?
Here, we can go ahead and put him right there. Yeah.
Straight to ASCON 1.
Straight there,
You're a jabroni. Brozo.
Joe Brony.
All
That's
the things.
his full name.
Yeah. Yeah, terrible person.
If somebody volunteered for it, sure. That's like the only time it's ever funny. Somebody like throw cake in my face. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Not, oh, hey, little girl, look at the flowers. Cool. Stupid.
And depending on how often the people at this party are around this guy, they know him and they know he's a douche canoe. They know he is the kind of guy who likes to pick on people that are apparently much, much, much smaller than him. You know, this is the kind of guy who walks around picking on toddlers and he's 21 years old. Like, how cool is that? Yeah. Oh, no.
I don't like, but then he didn't only do this once. Like, he tried to do it earlier to the actual birthday girl.
Yeah,
like, he tried to do it and he's still there. That should have been like a dude. Back it down. Go away.
Hey, Dory said you have really pretty eyes, Tony.
Thank you, Dory.
You can, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to move the camera closer?
Yeah.
Can we get the close-up shot here?
Just a close-up of the eyes, please.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Don't throw my name in this.
So unrelated to the story here, we know. I don't think OP did enough. This Joe Brony guy.
She should have kicked him in the balls.
At minimum. This Joe Brony guy is indefinite ASCON 1. Unrelated to the story. How have you been handling the past week of Antarctic weather?
Well, something everybody should know about me is I just love the cold and the snow. And it's like my favorite thing to just see snow on the ground and be cold.
Yeah.
No, I effing hate it. I hate the cold. I hate the snow. I hate the wind. I hate the cloudiness. I hate it all. I hate it.
If Tony Spark has to wear pants, he ain't going to be happy.
Yeah. And I've had to wear pants like every day.
Also, if Tony
What?
Spark feels like he needs a tan, he ain't gonna be happy.
Yeah. And I've needed a
Kaden
tan
Thunder's
for
right there
a
with him.
while. We had a call this morning with our buddy Josh, and he was like, wow, you guys look really white. And at first it was like, oh, is the camera needed to be like we look really pasty? And
The exposure too high. That's
like we look really pale, and the exposure was off, and then he turned down a little bit. I'm like, wow, still really pasty because we live in the Arctic tundra over here, and it's terrible. And I feel like I haven't seen the sun, and when I do see the sun, it's cold, it's miserable, it's awful. I want the summertime, and sunshine.
Tony's a joy to
shorts.
be around right now.
I hate the winter.
He's just a bundle of really warm joy.
It's the worst.
It's a good time. We're in Southwest Missouri, Ella. We're located in Joplin, Missouri.
Which I feel like part of the time don't get to like bitch about it because there's people that live colder places, but the last week has been really brutal. Like I'm gonna bitch. Like when our high doesn't get out of the negative, like I'm gonna bitch and say it's cold. I'm sorry. It's just gonna happen.
We also talked about this today. Today, the forecast said is the first day that we're climbing above freezing, above 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
In like 5 days.
So I came out this morning and I'm like, I'm not even going to wear my coat. I'm wearing this jacket. I'm good to go. It's not getting above 32 degrees till like right now. So it was just bitterly cold all day. But our concept of what's cold and what's not changes based on.
Yeah, we're like, oh, it's going to be nice today. It's going to be 34. And we're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's not nice. It's terrible.
Miss Berry, you have the windows open today? Like, you had negative 55 in Canada? Oh, that's craziness.
It was about like our wind chill the other day.
Oh, Elise, you had to be outside for 40-ish minutes today because a fire alarm went off. Whoever did that is terrible. Terrible.
It was, it's just miserable cold. But
Lindsay, right, yeah. You're in KC. You're just a couple hours north of us. Never been more excited for 16 degrees this morning.
yeah,
That's where we're
That's
at.
the way we feel with the 30. Missouri equals misery. I agree 100%. Courtney, my dad lives in South Florida, and he sent me screenshots the other day of the weather, and he said, it's starting to warm up a little bit, and the screenshot was 80 degrees while it was like 1 degree here and snowing, and then like an hour or two later, he said, it's starting to get pretty warm now, and it's like 87 degrees, and I was like, don't even talk to me. Like, don't even talk to me. It's like -5 outside. It's ridiculous.
Hey, we hit our next gift goal. Let's go ahead and
Good
dive into
job.
that, and we'll dive
Bye,
into the
guys.
spicy story. Tony Spark, ladies and gentlemen, please send some sunshine and warmth his way. He definitely needs it. Also, if you have a tanning bed laying around that you don't use, you can ship it directly to our studio. Tony Spark and Kaden Thunder will share that thing. They will use the hooey out of it. All right, let's talk about this for just a second here. We hit this gift goal. Hey, Tony Spark, how do you get this thing set to the next one here? Sorry. Leading the board this time, Michelle Heather, TLS Journey, Kylie Prue, Econ Laura, Pam K, and Am Bracker. We've got Kayla Shinneberry, Prep Girl, Rich Bash 86, Kimberly P, Mandy Flores, Juju Girl, Poetica Rose, MJ Newcomb, Elise Newman, who had to stand outside for 40 minutes on the freezing cold. Craziness. Akai Ryu, Ishtara, Purple D, Amber L, Hickey, Melody Perez Arts, and Meg C420. Thanks so much for that, guys. We're going to dove into that spicy story with Candy Thunder feedback. Let me get this next one set up here. This one is going to unlock a Kaden Thunder appearance. Yeah, how many of those? Okay. Kaden Thunder appearance. We are currently at 38% on the likes goal here right now. Pin this real quick. There we go. Okay, let's dive into a spicy reward story here, shall we? I'm just bopping out for a second. Ms. Imbash Ramona Rain. Miss MacGyver. Welcome to the Gosh Heckin' fam. I thought you'd been here before, though. Anita Hollis, Amanda, Michelle Heather. They've changed the interface here, and the new members of the Storm aren't highlighted, so it's a little bit tougher to catch now. Sorry if I'm missing anything here. Probably am. Little Savvy ASMR. Thanks for the heart me. Greatly appreciate that. Juju Girl with the finger hearts there, too. Lots of love. Anna Hartsman, Poetica Rose, SOS Flint, Lauren B. Thank you guys so much. All those high bears are coming in right now. Let's dive into our spicy reward story. Oh, do you want me to read this note at the beginning of the spicy reward story? Okay. The note from the team here is that the person in this story is contender for Brozo of the Year. That may have to be a new category in the Dusties that will never happen again. It's like saying Macbeth. The show that must not be named. Okay, here we go. Spicy reward story. Will I be the astronaut if I visited my parents after my wife gives birth? Say what now? My wife, Sarah, and I, both early to mid-30s, are expecting twins in early March. First and only kids for both of us. We had to go through IVF due to fertility struggles. Sarah is scheduled for a C-section due to this being a difficult pregnancy and other complications that make her high risk. Luckily, her parents are only a few hours drive away and willing to come down whenever needed. My parents live in another country, and I see them usually once a year to every year and a half. They are aware when Sarah is scheduled to have their C-section. Things have been going on that they don't know how to handle, and they want me there to help out. My parents don't have a lot of money, but they went ahead and booked me a non-refundable plane ticket to come help them and visit for 6 weeks. The flight date is 5 days after Sarah's scheduled C-section. The fact that this is even being considered is a huge red flag. What? And the fact that your family went ahead and did this and booked this non-refundable ticket to leave your wife 5 days after having a C-section? Lots of smart things going on here. I've asked Sarah to look into rescheduling her surgery. Wait, what? Of all the things going on here, you think that's the thing to reschedule? Okay, you're going to get this right up front here. A few weeks earlier, if possible, but she's refused, saying she's gotten herself mentally prepared for that particular date. And unless there's some sort of emergency with the twins, her OB is not going to approve pushing it up a few weeks. I told her that it would give me more time to help her directly after birth before I leave for my parents. Sarah thinks I'm crazy for even considering going for that long or at all while we have 2 newborns at home and she's recovering from surgery and we're getting adjusted to being new parents. If I had the money to spare, I'd hire someone to stay with Sarah while I'm gone. I gently reminded Sarah that I rarely see my family, and if they're asking and paying for me to fly there, it must be something serious that requires my presence. Wait! He doesn't even know what the fucking problem is? They're just like, hey, we seriously need your help with something. Here's a plane ticket. And he's like, okay, bet. No questions asked. By the way, I'm having a kid. My wife's having a C-section. This is 5 days after that, but yeah, I'll be there. Okay. Here's clarification. At parents' request, I did not tell her the nature of the issues they need help with. You don't think she has a fucking right to know, bro? You don't think she has a right to know why you were leaving her 5 days after giving birth via C-section? Nah. Plus, Sarah's own parents are only 2 to 2.5 hours drive away, and I'm confident they'd drop whatever they're doing to come help should she need it. She's going to need it. Her mom works remotely and could even stay over some nights to help out with the twins. She doesn't need every once in a while help, you dick knot. Sarah again called me crazy and ended up telling her parents what I suggested. They're both calling me lecturing and fussing about abandoning Sarah when she needs me most. I ended up venting to my younger brother, who is also going to be flying out to our parents, but for a shorter time. He's not married and child-free. And he says Sarah is way out of line and she'll be fine if I go. She's simply reacting this way due to hormones. That's the guy you should be listening to. That's the guy. Hey, you know what? There's probably a reason that he's not married and child-free. That's the guy. That's the guy that you should definitely be like, hey, can I get some relationship advice from you, bro? To be honest, I really want to go, and my parents would lose several $1,000s if I refused. And I have to buy myself a ticket later if I don't go then. Will I be the astronaut if I went? Yes. You would be, and already are, an Ascon 1. And not just an Ascon 1, you're a brozo, dipshit, douche canoe, Ascon 1. The fact that you uttered these words and said, I really want to go, means that either you're just freaking out and trying to escape about being a brand new dad, but you went through IVF. You did this on purpose. You went through IVF. This is not an accidental pregnancy. You did this on purpose. You had plenty of time to prepare for it. You chose to go this route. Now you're talking about leaving 5 days after your wife gives birth to twins with C-section. And you really want to go? That makes you a terrible person. Your wife has a right to know what is so important that it means you drop everything and take off. And it better be like the end of the freaking world if you're abandoning her and your brand new babies to go fly halfway around the world and you won't even tell her why. There are so many red flags here. You're going to find yourself divorced and you're not going to have a relationship with your kids. That's where this is heading. It better be that freaking important. Ladies and gentlemen, here to chime in, the magnificent Kaden Thunder. Sorry, I just got pissed and I just started talking.
My eyes while I'm like reading the story are like, it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. But my favorite part is that he asked her to reschedule her surgery like it's a cosmetic procedure. Like she's just getting a boob job. She can do it whenever. You can't take babies out early. Like you can't, especially twins, because they're most likely already coming early. And this guy is just, oh my gosh, he makes me so mad. Like even more mad than the guy that wanted his pregnant or ready to pop wife to clean up his mess every day. There's also someone had said he would be coming home a single dad, and he's not coming home a dad because this is not a dad.
Nope.
This is not a parent.
This is a choice not to be a dad, which is so confusing because it's IVF. Like that's a process that you start. And, you know, if it's anything like most people, it's a several year long process of getting to the point where you actually have a child. So what now? I don't know. I just don't understand how you could ever make this choice and why the parents would request it.
I don't know. I don't understand at all like what's going through this guy's head. And then to like be like, well, my friend that's not married and has no kids chimed in and said it must be her hormones because, you know, if a pregnant woman gets upset, that's the only logical excuse is that her hormones are raging and she's not in her right mind. Fuck you, dude. Her hormones aren't raging. You're an asshole. That's the problem. Oh, he's cheating. He could be cheating. I don't know. This guy just seems like an idiot. Like he has no idea how hard taking care of babies are. If you thought IVF was hard, wait till the baby actually gets there.
Right.
Because it's a million times harder once the baby is there. And I've never had twins. I can't imagine having two newborns at the same time. And he's like, no, it's fine. Our parents are 2.5 hours away because if anything happens, 2.5 hours is the perfect emergency amount of time for them to get there and help with whatever the problem is.
And they can stay over sometimes. The mom could stay over sometimes to help out.
Because it's so easy to have one newborn and then have two while you're trying to hold them both. What a fucking brozo asshole.
Yeah, and discussion going on in chat, like why is it going to be 6 weeks? Why is he going to be gone that long? What takes that amount of time? And he still won't even tell anybody what the issue is. If it's not, if you can't even say what is more important than the birth of your children and caring for your wife, it's not important. It's not more important.
Right. I don't think anything is more important than what's about to happen to you. But you've already let your wife know that something else is more important than staying there to be with your new family that you've created. And I don't think that you can ever take that back because you've already considered it. You've already thought about it. You already have the plane ticket and you're planning on going. And I don't think you can, like, you put a ding in your relationship and I don't think you can get that out. I don't think you can do anything about what the damage that you've already done to your wife.
Brozo acts like he's getting deployed. He's like,
are his parents
I have no
in
choice.
witness protection?
I have no choice. I have to go.
Yeah. They called. I must respond.
Something's up. But was it his younger brother that he said was coming?
Yeah, there's already someone going.
Yeah.
Why does he need to be there too?
Exactly. And that's the guy you're taking advice from.
Or give it a couple months and then go to your parents and make sure her mom can be there. But you don't understand how hard that first month is. And like I said, we had one baby. I can't imagine having two and how little sleep she's going to get. And he's like, it's fine. She'll be fine. They're just cutting open her entire stomach. It's fine. No big deal. By the way, can you do it early? I've got places to be and things to do.
Sounds like bro needs a C-section to remove his head from his ass.
Yes.
It'll take more than 6 weeks to recover from that.
Yes. Bella did something bad. Says the first month is like the Twilight Zone. It is. And you don't ever remember it, but you know it was there. You remember how tired you were, and that's about it.
Can't imagine ever being like, hey, I'm going to bail for the hard part.
You would never. You
Of course
would never
not.
do that.
Of course not. And
Hey, yeah,
he
Ashley,
he
you're
doesn't
right.
he doesn't deserve to come back to anything.
Non-refundable tickets can sometimes be rescheduled. You can just not get the money back. You can't get a refund, but you could reschedule. So that is an option. This guy doesn't deserve any options. This guy just straight to ask on one.
The fact that he wants to.
Yeah.
And he's fighting for it is just lit.
And then he went
You made
to
your
blame
choice.
his wife's hormones.
Yes. You made your choice, dude. You made your choice.
All right.
Thanks, Taylor.
Bye, guys.
Kaden Thunder, everybody. Yeah, the whole thing is just you just blow them on my keyboard. What do you why for you do that? Jail? Like he's going to jail and he doesn't want to tell her he's going. No, I mean, I guess anything's possible here, but yeah, this guy is. I don't even understand why you would go through all like IVF is a journey. IVF is a rigorous emotional journey that can tear people apart or bring them together. And there's no indication in here that it tore them apart and he's just like bailing and running. There's no indication of that. They're having kids. Why, knowing that you're going to be a first-time father in a short amount of time, is this even an option? I do not understand it. 88 Debs, he won't tell us the reason because he knows it's a bad reason. Yeah, I mean, if somebody's being deceitful and hiding something, there's a reason for it. And that, yeah, you're probably right there. Mama Bay with the heart me, thanks so much. Maiden Nez with the heart me there as well. Tila Smith, Lauren B, Emily Stars, Juju Girl, Allie K, John Bogas. We are at 1027 to 2500 on the high bears right now to get Kaden Thunder up here, I believe. Allie K, Ali, another Allie, A-L-L-I. Silver Sun, Jocelyn, Lisa Sparks, Too Funny, Allie K, Meg's World, Wonder Woman, Lisa Sparks again, Jocelyn, Dana, 9480, Meg's World again, all kinds of high bears coming through. Michelle, Heather throwing all kinds of them up there as well. TLS joining the fight there too. Heck yeah, thank you guys. Laura, Heidi J, Jocelyn, Chrissy, Joe, Diana, Rainbow Bright 2.0, Reezy Girl or Resi Girl. Tony Sparks in the hunt there too. Hallie Andrew, Mrs. M Bash, Juju Girl, Chrissy, Joe, MJ Newcomb, me, myself, and I, Pam K, Lauren B, OMG Cookies, Ms. Helene. Thank you guys so much. Greatly appreciate all the love there. Amanda, Mrs. M Bash there. Mama Okie subscribing. Welcome to the Gosh Heckin' fam. Dixon Cider Mom, Jenny Thomason. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate the love there. Beigeberry Designs with the share. Thanks so much for that. Greatly appreciated. Likes goal 50% right now. Okay, we are diving into story 3, correct? Is that right, Mr. Producer? Story 3. Great Dragon Fox Gaming with the high bears there. Lisa with the ice skating. That's a cool one. Chrissy Joe, thanks so much. Mama Joe, a big old bag of gummy bears there, or high bears. Alec K. Jocelyn sending all kinds of gifted subs out to people. Heather CA, welcome to the Gosh Heckin' fam. Brown Skeen, TLS, Jackie Kelly, Jarby, welcome to the Gosh Heckin' fam. Glad to have you guys there. Courtesy of Jocelyn there. Heck yeah. Emily Overton, Laura Goff, Jules, Melly Mel, Dixon Cider Mom, Gry Goose, Melissa B, Jenny Thomason, Gry Goose again there. C. Kenny, Aaron, Biederman, Melly Mel. Thank you guys. Penny Haas, see you there too. Beans for the brozo, Ashley. There you go. Tracy's Crystals and Creations. We've got Brittany Stowers, Gary Wayne, Clarinda Sydney cutting up with the shares and the follows there. Thanks so much for that, guys. Shelby Kleisen with the follow there as well. Thanks so much. Pam K, Mama Joe, subscribed. Welcome to the Gosh Heckin' fam. Glad to have you here. Tracy's Crystals and Creation with the hybrid there as well. A Flower, Shaz, Kitty Cat, Penny Haas, Aaron Biederman, Melly Mel. You guys are awesome. Dixon Cider Mom, whole big old bag of them high bears as well there. Thanks so much. What are you laughing at? What am I screwing up? Am I screwing something up? Is there a side joke going on here? What am I doing? What am I doing wrong? How do we get a gifted sub? I think it's random. What did I mess up?
No, I didn't mess anything up. You're doing great. You're all good.
Oh shit. Now I see it.
Why don't you say it again? What is it?
Dixon Cider Mom. You got me that time. Got me that time, by God. Shite.
You read it like 3 times and didn't even know.
No, man, I was in a flow. Well, now I know. And we're going to clip that, that's for sure. Shit. Okay, we're ready for story number 3 here. This is a follower submitted story, and it's titled, Am I the Astronaut for Putting My Foot Down About My Wedding? I am getting married late 2024. When I got engaged, my mother became a momzilla. When my older sister got married, it was like a courthouse with none of us there to a guy we didn't like. So my parents never got to have a big wedding or plan anything. I've never been the girl to plan out her perfect wedding and never knew right away what I wanted. The night I got engaged, my mom bombarded me with all sorts of questions and was panicking. Excuse me. We were engaged for about a week and she was freaking out about us picking a date for the wedding. My fiance and I originally wanted a small, intimate wedding with just select family. I got screamed at for that idea. For months, my mother was on me to find a venue we wanted. When my fiance and I found a venue we liked, we checked it out. I knew then that it was the one that I wanted. My mother was trying to push us to look at a place she told us about. It was a basic wedding venue, nothing special. I told her I found what I wanted, but she of course complained to my dad about it. Yes, my parents are paying for the wedding. However, they have insisted on it because it's tradition. She didn't like the fact that we looked at one venue and was still trying to push for a different one. She was pestering me about the wedding and every detail about it. I mean, it was almost daily she was telling me what I needed to do for it. One of the wedding colors is black, which surprisingly she was okay with. I thought of wearing a black wedding dress and told my mother of it. Words are hard. I don't know what's happening. I'm just afraid of words now. I thought of wearing a black wedding dress and told my mother about this. I told her that I would wear a black dress and so would my bridesmaids. My mother then said, I'm going to wear a black dress. I told her if I'm wearing a black dress and so is my bridal party, then why would she? She said fine, but then told me that she wanted to renew her vows at my wedding reception. Oh, she just stepped it up to a whole new level. It's not just I want to control everything. It's not I want to pay for everything. It is not I get, to overrule the bride and remove her veto power. I want to actually hijack the reception and make it about me. Like not even just covertly like most mother-in-laws do. And, decide to throw a fit or create some drama. No, she wants to renew her vows at the reception. Cool. Not even in this fashion asking. It's like, hey, we thought this would be really sweet. Is this something you would be open to? No, it's, I want to do this. Good approach. My mother also had issues with the wedding colors. She really wanted to add another color to the wedding colors. I kept telling her no. When we went wedding dress shopping, she tried that color on. She then said it could go with the colors that she wanted, and that's when I told her no. My mother has issues with basically everything. I had a dress I already owned but never got to wear due to 2020. It was my wedding colors, and I was thinking of having a skirt made to go over it. She yelled at me because it's a prom dress, not a wedding dress, and that I was going wedding dress shopping, and I'm not denying her that right. So this thing happens a lot where people write in quotes, like in quotation marks, but the way that they write it isn't like the person said it, and then I have to try to translate in my head. So we're going to do that line over. She yelled at me because that's a prom dress, not a wedding dress, and said that we are going wedding dress shopping and you will not deny me that right. Is that better? There we go. I have to translate in my head. When we went wedding dress shopping, she started looking at a flower girl dress, and when I told her I already had them picked out. When I showed her, she made a face of disgust and went, well, what about this? And I told her no. She said what she didn't like about the dress, and I told her, well, I like it, and a good thing it's not your wedding, as I walked away. Ooh, them's fighting words. My fiance decided he didn't want to wear a traditional suit and tie, which my mother, of course, had something to say about that. When it came to find a DJ and photographer for the wedding, my mom was on me for it, telling me how they book fast and I need to get on it already. I told her I've been looking around and she told me I need to get serious about it and find someone. It was every day that I was getting calls about finding one. We found a photographer, but the DJ was still up in the air. I told my mother, worst case, we'll use the speaker if needed, that it wasn't the end of the world. Oh my gosh, how my mother threw a huge fit. She told me that it would be trashy and that she's not paying for a trashy wedding. I told her that I never wanted this kind of wedding and I didn't ask for her help. which I was told, yes, you did. You can't pay for this on your own. It was then that I ended the call with my mother and I didn't talk to her for a day. My fiance and I were so close to just calling off the wedding. I sent my mother a message stating it's a worst case scenario and it doesn't make it trashy. I told her that they have insisted on paying for the wedding and that if they don't want to fight, or if they don't want to, then fine. However, if they do, then it's not to be held over my head. My mother has not talked to me much. Words are real hard right now. I need some caffeine here. We ran out of creamer and I didn't drink my Jock coffee before the stream and now my brain's just a freaking mess. I'm substituting Monster tea and water, of course. Broke my routine. That's what happens. My mother has not talked to me much since I said all that. She claims that I don't love her, that I hate her, and she doesn't know what she did to deserve all this hate. She's still giving me grief about the wedding and some issues about doing certain things, such as my bachelorette party invitations, etc. I know there are things that my fiance and I want for the wedding that she will probably not agree with. I just want to know if I would be the astronaut for putting my foot down finally about what we want, or just to go with and let my mom be happy. I have my fiance, his family, and our friends telling us to put our foot down. A piece of me feels like this might cause more drama and that I can just suffer through my wedding day to please everyone. I also know that depending on what my mom has to say to family members that it could cause drama because my family is very critical about everything. They always talk a lot of crap. I don't talk to my mom's side of the family anyway. I only talk to about 3 people from her side, but one is a critical person. Should I just put my foot down and do what makes me happy? Yes, you should just put your foot down. What was the initial question here? Am I the astronaut for putting my foot down about my wedding? No, you wouldn't be the astronaut. You need to do it, and here's why. People who are getting married do not realize when a situation like this comes up, they don't realize that this is not just the wedding. This is a control play that will determine the rest of your life, how it's going to play out. If you let her have this, you've heard the expression, give an inch and they take a mile. That's exactly what would happen here. Consider your wedding an inch in the grand scheme of your adult life, right? Or your married life here. You probably plan on having kids. You probably plan on moving at some point. You probably plan on a lot of married things, right? Well, if you let mother exert control here, she's going to get a say in everything else that you do after this point. She wasn't just trying to control your wedding. She was trying to hijack it. She was trying to make this her wedding, number one. So there's a massive power play going on here. If she wants to have her own wedding, she can throw her own fucking wedding to renew her wedding vows wherever the hell she wants. And she can make that a separate deal. If you do not put your foot down now, you are opening up the possibility, a stronger possibility of her making a play for control over everything else that you do in your adult life. Heaven forbid you have kids. That's when shit's really going to hit the fan if you give in here. This is the time to create boundaries. Yes, she's paying for it. She doesn't have to. She gets a vote. She doesn't get the veto vote. She doesn't get the final say. And unless she's willing to accept those terms, tell them to screw off. They don't have to pay for anything. You can do the little thing that you guys want to do. Just make it your own way. You have to create and reinforce and stand by your boundaries here, or there will be hell to pay later on. This go along to get along approach that you think is not going to create drama, it's going to create drama too. And if her side of the family talks shit no matter what, they're going to talk shit no matter what. You cannot prevent that from happening. They are who they are. They need the drama to survive. It's just going to be whatever the topic is that day. It's not going to not happen. It's just a matter of, is it going to be about you or not? And if her side of the family talks shit, wouldn't you rather the story be, wow, her daughter finally stood up to her and wouldn't let her bully her around, rather than, oh, the mom, this is really the mom's wedding. She's renewing her vows at the reception. She picked out all this stuff. It's everything that she wanted. What would you rather that narrative be? They're going to talk shit no matter what. You choose the story. It is more important to me, though, to look at this as a precursor for the rest of your lives. How much control are you willing to let her have? You want her to determine where you're going to live, what job you're going to do, how your kids are going to be raised? Or do you want to make those decisions yourself with your partner? Lexi says, I just canceled my wedding without them knowing and started agreeing to her decisions. Ooh. That's not a bad idea. And then she can create her own thing for her vowel renewal. I would like to renew my vowels. I'll take 2 O's, an O and another O. Yeah, it is. It's Wheel of Fortune. That's right. Of course your brain goes there. Yeah. She can do her own thing. Honestly, I don't think the petty route is going to be effective here, because it's the boundary that needs to be reinforced. You have to stand up to her actively. I mean, there's some funny stuff you could do the petty route here, but the big action that needs taken is the boundary. You have to stand up to her now so that you don't have to do it for the rest of your life, or that she learns a lesson and doesn't try to control everything for the rest of your life. And that only happens if you stand up to her now. I-V-A-I-O-U and sometimes Y forever and ever. That's the vowel renewals. I love it. They can watch me get married on Zoom. There you go. Oh, Lil Savvy thought I said bowels. Yes, that would be good too. Maybe that's what mother-in-law meant here. She wants to renew her bowels at the wedding reception. She just wants to be entertainment for people. That's a different story. Share, yes, we will use these and chop them up for stories. They will definitely get posted to YouTube. Some of them will get posted here on TikTok. And the whole live will be posted on YouTube tomorrow at noon. Central Standard Time. Hopi says, I was swallowing my pride to try to get along with my boyfriend's family, and it was literally hell. It didn't end up working anyways. They're not in our lives now, and it's for the better. Jess says, sick of the consonant vowel renewal jokes. I get it. This is an NTA. You definitely have to stand up and do something here, or mom's just going to bulldoze everything you do. 2201 at 2500 on the High Bears, which makes Kaden Thunder get up here for a chat. He is here in the studio waiting to get up here on camera, and just, you know, you guys have seen him on camera before. This kid has so much energy. He's hard to contain. So we've sedated him. So he's mildly sedated when he gets up here. Yeah, I know. He's just bouncing off the walls all the time. We gotta do what we can. Ms. Muffin, you're listening to this at the front desk since you don't have any more patients. Heck yeah, there you go. Lisa, you got a package heading our way soon? Heck yeah, that's awesome. Yes, you did. CJ's so savage using the victim card saying, oh, you hate me. Yeah, that's something I actually meant to talk about here. It is, of course, the instant that you disagree with something, it's, I don't know what I did to deserve all of this. Why do you hate me so much? Of course she's going to play that. She's going to exert every tool that she has in her bag to try to gain control over this situation and make you feel bad and guilt you into letting her steamroll you. Of course she is. Don't let it happen. Don't let it happen. Let her show up to an empty venue. I mean, as long as you also stand up and create those boundaries, follow it up with something petty and fun. I'm all for that. 2251 at 2500 on the High Bears right now. We're at 614 of 700 on the members goal here, and 67% on the likes goal. I don't know if the camera is looking laggy on your end. I'm seeing it jump around a little bit. Are you guys seeing that as well? Not terrible, not as bad as it was the other day. If you weren't around for the beginning of the stream today, the one big thing that I want to remind you of is the Piano Man story. And sorry if I'm talking about this too much for you, and if you were here for the other times that I mentioned it, but it's a big deal. Piano Man Part 3, the final installment of the Piano Man story, comes out tonight at 7 p.m. on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, all the rest. And at the same time, the full compilation of all 3 parts that is 3.5 hours long gets posted too. So if you're brand new to the story and you want to start from the beginning and get all the way through it to the end, you're going to have that ability after 7 p.m. Central Standard Time tonight. Also, within the next week, we should have some links to an ebook and paperback to you as well. And I will pursue getting a hardback created for those of you who like hardbacks as well. So that is going to be it's going to be cool. I don't know what's going to happen with it, but we'll see what happens. It was a story to fall asleep to initially. And for those of you who like to listen to this kind of stuff while you fall asleep, start off that way and see what you think. It can be utilized for lots of different things. Oh, I be singing too. You just started in on Piano Man? Heck yeah. Well, you're going to be able to get through the whole thing then. Heather, thank you. Greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Alejandra, you as well. Okay. Also, we have a podcast coming out Sunday. Sunday will be the podcast with Bree, aka Sassy Merlot. So that's coming out here too. They're coming up.
And hey, guess what happens on Friday?
What happens on Friday?
We're going to film Thunder and Spark too.
Hey-o, Thunder and Spark filming's coming up. Candy Thunder's like first I'm hearing of this.
It's not gonna get released till the last episode hits 1,000. So it's 1,000 views. So go watch Thunder and Spark on YouTube. And
what is
follow
it?
Tony Spark _
What is the last episode at?
I don't know, like 3, 4
3 views.
Yeah.
4 views.
I think I'm 2 of them. I think. No, I think it was like, I don't know, 800. It's probably close to 800, but
if
go watch Thunder and Spark on YouTube.
Yeah, that's doable. So the podcast is on YouTube, and it's also accessible through Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all those. The ones that you're talking about views on is on YouTube though, right?
Yeah. Hopefully, at least 5 or 6 people have listened to it on Spotify, but
yeah. So it's on the normal.
We're so funny. You guys should really check out the podcast because we're funny.
It is funny. It is hilarious. And it's on the Dusty Thunder channel on YouTube, but it's titled Thunder and Spark Podcast. Thunder and Spark. You're a binger, Fell Hermit Fairy. Yeah, the newest release is the last part. So, and also, if you're a binger, tonight at the same time, the full compilation, it's 3.5 hours long, that contains parts 1, 2, and 3 comes out too. So I'd say just use that one. Yeah. Yep. Cami Quartz, yeah, being able to download them with Spotify makes a whole lot of sense. There's also apparently a Spotify feature where you can add video to it, but Megaphone, which is the platform we use to push it out, doesn't have that feature enabled yet. So when it does, we'll definitely do that. We got the goal hit here. Trina Shay Tishay with the share there. Thanks so much for that. Michelle Heather, I think you sent us over the tippity top here. Let's get some music bopping here. Hey, we're ranked, folks. Ranked for Rising Stars, number 30. Hey, we're getting back into the ranking territory. I don't know. Words are really hard today.
We got a long way to go on the regular.
Yeah. We were ranking in the regular one for a while, and then we slid back down to Rising Stars. But hey, we're climbing. 30.
That's all.
Bet. We'll be number 1 by the top tier by the end of the stream. Yeah. Number 1, leading the board, Anita Dickens. Somehow has the same profile picture as the user that we saw earlier. What was the name? Yeah, Dixon Cider Mom. That's the display name for that user. You got me. You done got me. Anita, thanks so much. Leading the board there. Meg's World in the number 2 slot. TLS Journey in the number 3 slot. Mama Joe in the number 4. Michelle Heather. Number 5 here. Bogus Drug Life. Southern Country. Kayla Shinneberry. Joss VP. Rich Bash. Pam K. User 0507815. MJ Newcomb. Prep Girl. Tony Spark. And after that, we have... Oh, you didn't scroll it down for me, Tony. Oh my gosh. Callie Prue, Kimberly P, Brew Judaski, Gry Goose, Diana 5520, Smiles 420, El Marine, Sue Ann, Flower Girl, Jasmine McMaster, Juju Girl, Mandy Flores, Econ Laura, OMG Cookies, White Eyes Cat, Candy Thunder. Oh, she's really pretty. Gene Reed, Tanya D, aka T, Ann M. Bracker, Jenny Thomason, Lori M, Debbie Hughes, Nymph Mama, Not That Ellen, Blessed Wonder Woman, Ms. Pamela L, Berlioz, Brooklyn Baby, Justina, The Real RP, Mimi Houston, and Shannon Aaron. Thank you guys so much. That was a list to go through. It certainly was. That is a Kaden Thunder appearance too, so well timed. Let me get the next one set up, and we'll get him up here. Next one is going to unlock confetti and the ever so realistic astronaut helmet. It's a thing. Get this set up real quick. Confetti and helmet. At least I'll have my protective headgear on. All right, there we go. Where did the helmet come from? So we got two. The OG one, the fabric one, I'm pretty sure was from. I don't know. Probably both from Amazon. NASA. That's the answer. It's from NASA. From NASA. Okay, let's go ahead and get him up here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead and start your intro. You ready? Kaden Thunder, you ready? This is like WWE. You got to get yourself all pumped up. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. It stopped. It stopped playing it.
Hey. How's it going? It's me. It's Kaden Thunder, the guy, the cool guy that everybody likes to see. It's me. It's Kaden. You guys like me? My week is good. It's going pretty well so far. Haven't done much. I'm supposed to start school again this week, but it's just been canceled every day because of the weather, so it's been fine.
How have you enjoyed the sub-zero temperatures?
Well, I like the snow, but I don't like the cold, so I kind of wish that it would be warm but with snow, so we could like
a movie set.
Yeah, like but I want the snow to be cold, but I want the weather to be nice and warm so that you can be outside and be like, man, I really wish that there was snow, and you lay down and there's snow, but then you're cold, so you stand up and it's warm. Wouldn't that be nice?
You only want the impossible. Snowman, snow weather.
Snowman, snow weather.
There you go.
Weather is the weather.
Swinter. Phineas and Ferb. Heck yeah.
Yeah, Phineas and Ferb.
I don't remember if it was you or if it was one of the other kids.
No.
That had a really funny way of saying Phineas and Ferb.
That was cousin Ava.
Oh, cousin Ava. Yeah, it was Penis and Perv. That's what.
I love that show.
Angie, yes. Yeah, Kaden Thunder is my oldest boy.
That's me. How are you guys doing?
That sounds good. Lene, he comes out basically every Wednesday stream. He jumps on.
You have to summon me by saying my name 3 times and clicking your heels together. And then reciting Rap God. Word for word.
What? Joyful stranger, do I have an older girl like a daughter? So Kaden is the oldest Thunder kiddo, and then we've got 3 teens that are 13, 14 now, packed in the middle, and then we've got Navy Thunder, who's coming up on 3.
And someone tell Pedro Pascal I'd like to have a conversation with him.
About what?
I just want to talk to him.
Just anything?
Yeah, he's cool.
There you go. Navy Shark. There you go.
Do.
Dorothy and Eminem. There you go.
Yeah, we all do want to talk to Pedro, but let him know, guys. I know you guys are you're tight with Pedro, so let him know.
Oh, man.
I've been replaying The Last of Us, the game.
Pedro knows the way. This is true.
True.
This is very true.
We can get him on the podcast.
Hey, little red Corvette gal or girl. Welcome to the Gosh Heckin' Fam.
Yes, welcome to the Gosh Heckin' Fam.
This guy.
Look
at that. That was great.
We'd love to have you. Pedro for president? Yeah. Nah, not beef. I like Kieran Culkin too, though. Succession's great. I love that show too. Both of them. They're funny. They're hilarious. I'm watching The Bear right now. We need a Kaden Thunder emote. Where's that at? We need a...
Oh, yeah, we do.
What is it? What's that word?
We don't have the
Mutiny?
super emoji.
Mutiny for
Mutiny?
Kaden Thunder emote.
I don't think you have to mutiny for that.
The most sassy? I'm actually really sassy. It's just I'm usually so sassy that it comes out really dry and you just can't tell. Inside, I'm like super energetic and active and I'm making comments here and there. I kind of have an inner narration like Joe from You, but minus the creepy parts. But outside it comes out as like
Minus the stalking, kidnapping, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Outside I sound like Ferb.
British sassy. There you go, Phil Hermit Ferry. There you go.
No, I haven't dipped into the gummies today. Well, you heard him. They did sedate me before I came on.
We didn't tell him ahead of time.
Yeah, they slipped in my Diet Coke.
It's supposed to be Candy Thunder. All right, we'll go ahead and bounce to the next story.
All right.
Here we go.
Goodbye.
Kaden Thunder, everybody. He disappeared. Where'd he go? It was magic. He just disappeared. I don't know what happened to him. It just disappeared. He's a riot. You know what's funny is that whenever Kaden Thunder was in elementary school, he was like the most animated, outgoing, hilariously funny, in an extrovert kind of way kid that would always, in the school plays be like super goofy and all of the adults in the audience would crack up. And then as he got older, internalized a lot. And now he's got like the dry sense of humor and just contains it a lot more. And I think that's a lot more like my dad. My dad is like a really, really quiet guy, but when he opens his mouth, he has the most hilarious one-liners that ever come out. He's just like, he's got comedic timing. Got timing. Heck yes. Okay, what story am I heading to now, Mr. Tony Spark? We're at 132 of 600 on the donuts. We're at 81% on the likes goal. Let's go. I think I'm on story number 4. Okay, they're engaged in a side conversation and don't know what I'm saying. Mr. Producer? What? Am I on story number 4? Okay.
We're just, breaking them down.
Yeah.
Analyzing your performance. Seeing how you're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
You're on number 4. Yeah, how much time is that? 16. Go to number 5.
Okay. I'm being pivoted here. Said no sound was dead. I think it's just because I was being quiet for a second. Let me see if I can do this actually. I'm just going to try to turn the preview off. There. Okay. That might work. All right. So here we are. This is a follower submitted story and it is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Not Wanting to Cook for My Partner Anymore? Hey, Dusty, Candy, and Tony. Oh, look at that. They know the whole gang. Longtime listener and would really value your opinion on this one. I love to cook and to try new recipes. Last night I showed my partner 3 different recipes and I would like to try and said he could choose between them for dinner. All the recipes had pictures and or videos so you could clearly see what was in them. I read out the ingredients list. He said they all sound good. In the end, we chose one that better suited the meat we had available to use. He said that one would hide too much of the flavor of the meat and the other and the other we could do anytime because it was pretty simple. So the third option it was. I got all the ingredients from the shop, made the sauces from scratch, and plated the dish as it was pictured on both of our plates. Now there was one vegetable in it that he had complained about before, saying that it is always tough to eat, but I made sure to slow roast it till tender and season it well. This vegetable is at the top of the ingredients list and very, very clearly visible in the picture. He also was in the kitchen watching me prepare all of this. Once we sat down to eat, he pushed his food around and picked out the meat and cheese. I asked him if he didn't like it, and he said it was good. He kept moving his food around, then I asked him again if he liked it or not because I could whip up something else. He said it's fine, but once he had a mouthful of that one vegetable, he got up and spat it out. I was furious. I felt so disrespected and hurtful. He just said, "You know I don't like that vegetable," but he chose this recipe. I was so annoyed I went straight to bed. When he came into bed, he said I overreacted and he ate the whole thing. But when I got up this morning, his plate was mostly still full of the meal and sitting on the bench. I might be being dramatic, but I really don't want to cook for him anymore. We've been together for many years and he has never been this rude about my cooking. Will I be the astronaut if I don't cook for him anymore? Hey, Ellen and Tony Spark, thanks for jumping in and doing the mod block in there. Greatly appreciated. Adrian, MCAS Reptiles, Theosaurus Rex, Amberella Hickey, obviously Mel, thanks for the love there. Greatly appreciate it. Sasha Sampson, Jasmine McMaster, Shani, RJ McHale, Bebop 610, Theosaurus Rex, Kaden Thunder with the donuts there too. Chrissy Joe, Candice with an I, Candice A, Theosaurus Rex again, Chrissy Joe, Gry Goose, Little Red Corvette Girl, Southern Country, Annabelle RC, Juju Girl, thanks so much for the love. Sasha Sampson, see you there as well. Tiara says his fault if he wasn't actually paying attention at any point. Fubel, maybe not going as far as cooking for him anymore, but also NTA. And I mean, the question is, am I the astronaut for not wanting to cook for my partner anymore? If we take it at face value right there, that's a feeling, right? Like the desire is a feeling. You can't be an asshole for feeling something. If you actually, it's how you react or enact those feelings into action that can or can't make you an asshole. So I think it's how you follow through with this here. There's something I said before in stories about people not liking cooking, and I feel like I have to go back and reference it and at least be a little bit consistent with that. I feel like when you're cooking for someone, there's a risk involved, right? There's a risk involved of someone not liking it, and either that person can pretend to like it for your sake, or they can be truthful with you, and then you can know and take that observation for next time. The way that he handled it here, the way that your partner handled it here, was pretty childish. You know, picked around at it and then said, you know, I don't like that one thing. And then said that he ate the whole thing, but clearly didn't. Like, he handled it. He didn't handle it well. I honestly don't think that you handled it great either, though. And this is one of those things where, I mean, if you create new things and you're trying new recipes, somebody's bound to not like something. It's not a personal reflection on you. He acted like a child about it. And yeah, that sucks. He needs to change how he reacts to things there too. But on your end, as you're trying different things, you're going to come up on more things that he doesn't like, or maybe even you don't like. And how you react to those, I think, is how you can grow from it. You can take this as an observation, as a note, and be like, okay, well, we just know to avoid this kind of thing in the future. That's fine. Also, yeah, my partner's going to act like a child when there's something that he doesn't like. Maybe he was trying to spare your feelings and then made to feel like he was being forced to eat the vegetable or whatever, but it turned into a childish thing pretty quickly. I don't think you have to take it so personally. I don't think like it's a personal reflection on you. And I think that him trying to hide the fact that he was going to not eat that thing was probably him tiptoeing around your feelings, which at this point there was no way of him not offending you in some way, shape, or form there. So it's a risk whenever you try new things. It is a risk whenever you cook for people. It's not everybody's going to like it. It doesn't mean they don't like you. It doesn't mean that he was disrespecting you. He just didn't handle it well. Didn't handle it. I don't know. Handled it childishly. That's my thoughts here. What do you guys think? So much more, says Dusty. I can keep you busy with just me and AITA for months. Some I am, some I'm not. Yeah. He's just spoiled. SOS Flint says, yeah, I mean, he brozoed it up here by acting the way that he did and then saying that he finished it when he didn't. He acted like a child. I get that. And maybe it's him being childish that OP found disrespectful here. But I don't think I think a lot of people go through this where they create something and then they take it as a personal reflection on themselves if people don't like it. Now, this is also out of character for OP's partner here, who says, we've been together for many years and he's never been this rude about my cooking. Now, the rude things were, okay, hold up. His initial reactions and him saying what he said, that was a childish reaction. When he came into bed, he said that she overreacted, or said that OP overreacted and he ate the whole thing. So that's obviously not a smart thing to say, and he brosed it up even harder there by saying, "Oh, you just overreacted." Instead of owning it, being like, you know what, yeah, I thought I could try that one thing, and I didn't handle it well. Whatever. He brosed it up harder there. Tony Spark, it feels like you have something to chime in here about. Go ahead.
Well, I feel like the other part that she's just really frustrated about is that they chose the recipes together. Like, she showed it to him and let him pick and said, which one do you want to try? Which one do you like out of this? And he picked. And yes, it had a vegetable in there that he may not be fond of, but she was trying to include him in that. And he just, now granted, he may have just been like, I don't care, make whatever. But
right.
That also then falls on him to be like, I don't want to have this. But I feel like that's part of her frustration, is that she tried to include him in it. And he said, yeah, they'll do this one. And then it still didn't work out.
Right. Yeah. He had the opportunity to wave that off several times and didn't. And maybe he was trying to be adventurous and give that vegetable a shot or something and just did not handle it well at all. I get that. I still don't think it's a personal reflection on OP. I don't think it's him saying, like, because I don't like this vegetable, I don't like how you did this. Or now he did say, I don't like that vegetable. So he did project a little bit onto OP there and like basically blame it on her, even though he was there for all of it. And for that, yeah, I think it does sway a lot more in his direction for fault. Not that this is anybody's fault, but he had the opportunity to wave it off. He tried to focus blame on OP, then said that OP overreacted. He brosed it up at every corner here. I still don't think OP should take this personally. Your partner just acted like an idiot and didn't handle it well. So maybe instead of this refusing to cook for him anymore thing, maybe take a break. Maybe just not a permanent thing. It could be a temporary thing. But also, I think if he's got these strong of opinions and also had those strong opinions, even though he was involved with the process, let him take it over for a while. And be like, look, I need a break after this scenario here, and I need you to take the reins and you run with it for a while, and then react honestly whenever he cooks things that you don't like too, and just make sure that you've got an open line there. We are at 264 of 600. We are at, I can't see that, 89% on the like goal right now. I think it is Beth says he could have also asked in advance to have that vegetable omitted or substituted. For sure. So he either wasn't paying attention or he was going to try and just tapped out like the first time he got a mouthful of that vegetable that he likes. Yeah, saying you overreacted instead of taking any kind of accountability in there. There is a gaslighting aspect to it. The whole thing feels very childish of him to me. So less adult malicious intent, like narcissistic gaslighting, and more immaturity, if that makes sense. Doesn't make it right. It just means it's I think it's less evolved. Yeah, Carissa, and I want to make sure we take that grain of salt here too. You're like, he didn't handle this well. He acted like a child for it. I don't think it was malicious on his part. I think he acted like a child, and instead of being able to handle any kind of accountability, there was like, no, you misunderstood. I don't like that. He was basically treating his partner like it's his mom here, and it has to grow up. He's got to grow up through that. On the flip side of that coin is that OP needs to recognize here that he's acting like a man-child, and that this is not a personal reflection on her. It doesn't mean that their relationship is over. It means that largely he's still a child and acts that way. So that's something that you guys can work on together. He needs to do the work there, but it's something that you guys can work on together. He's super childish.
So on the goal, your producer messed up.
Uh-oh.
But it's also supposed to include a cake story. So
Oh, okay.
that's
So
on there, so people can know that there will also be a cake.
okay. All right. So update on the gift goal that's happening right now for the donuts. It is not just confetti. It's not just helmet. It is confetti, helmet, and cake story, correct? Okay, so there's a cake story that is included in there as well. Tony Spark wanted me to clarify that. So yes, there is more value in hitting that goal there. The Effulgent One, Lisa Bees, Janet Lopez, Jesse Kelstadt, MJ Newcomb TLS, sending a bunch of donuts through there. Jenny on the block, MJ Newcomb, Becky Morlock, Mungau, Cindy, RJM Chael, subscribed. Welcome to the Gosh Heckin' fam. CJ's Thoughts, Wayward, Candace with an I, Piotr, MCAS Reptiles, Jessica Buchanan, Jasmine McMaster. We've got Phil Hermit Ferry, Mariah Janae Zuniga, Jessica Buchanan, Becky Morlock, Lady Stormfly, Theosaurus Rex, Susan RS, Sasha Sampson, MCast. We've got Tony Spark there as well. Wonder Woman, Lene Salyuk. We've got Adrian Emily Smith. Obviously, Mel, Amber L. Hickey, Jasmine McMaster, Sasha Sampson again, Channy, RJM Chael, or RJMC Hale. Channy Bebop, thank you guys so much. Greatly appreciate the love there. MJ, Jenny on the block again, Lisa, Mama Bear NC, Diana Galvin, Sue-Ann RT, Juju Girl, Tony Spark. Thanks for the love. Greatly appreciate it. T with the share there. Thanks so much for that. Wendelina with the share there as two. It's a Peppermint Witch. You just had two lives playing over top of each other. That sounds like some glitchy TikTok stuff right there. Michelle Heather with the Here We Go. Thanks so much for that. Books, Coffee, Tea with the Heart Me. Cat J. Thank you guys. Greatly appreciate it. Okay, Unicorn Goddess, Lordy Jordy with the shares there too. Thanks so much. We're going to dive into our next story here. This one is, you want 4 or 6? 7? Bouncing around again. Here we go. This one is from the AITAH subreddit and is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Eating Before My Date Arrived at the Restaurant? Typically frowned upon. So for context, I'm not a foodie. I eat to get full and not as an experience. I'll often eat at home before dinner outings just because I don't want to wait and rather enjoy the experience of the outing, which for me doesn't involve the eating portion. I met this girl online and we agreed to meet at a restaurant for dinner to get to know each other a little bit better. Fast forward to the day of our date, we agreed to meet at 9 p.m. Now my day was super busy with work and I didn't get to eat lunch and it was almost 8 p.m. and I was starving, so I got ready and headed to the date still having no food. I like getting to a date early so I can check out the environment, pick the best seats, and just prepare in general, so I arrived about 45 minutes early this time. That's way early. Still starving, I decided I should eat to get that out of the way, or I'd be hungry and cranky having to wait another hour or so before I can eat. I finished my meal and ordered a cocktail. By this point, my date is almost arriving. She gets to the restaurant and we instantly click. She's smiling and we're having a great conversation. She's touching my hand. It's overall going extremely well. Eventually, she asked if I would like to order some food, to which I responded, "No, thank you, I'm not hungry." She insisted, saying that she didn't want to eat alone, but I told her not to worry and eat, and that I was just enjoying my cocktail. So we call the waiter over and she starts asking him for recommendations, to which he responds with no ill intentions that it seemed I really enjoyed the tacos, so maybe she should try them. At this point, she was confused and asked what that meant, so I told her I had eaten some tacos before she arrived. She immediately becomes furious, saying that I'm rude and who eats before a date has even arrived. I explained to her that my goal was to get to know her and the eating portion wasn't important. Regardless, the whole mood changed. She ordered some food, ate, and made an excuse to have to leave. I haven't heard from her since, and that was last night. Am I the astronaut? Yeah. It is rude. Here, okay, I understand what you think you're accomplishing here, OP, but because it doesn't, you don't place value on the food portion of it, but you have to understand that people are, when you take your dog out into the yard to do the poop, and they give you this look, like it's almost a look of shame, but they give you this look because they're making eye contact with you because they feel they're most vulnerable right then, right? They're like, "Hey person, do you have my back? Because I can't do nothing about shit right now." when people are eating, they feel that way too. They feel vulnerable. They feel awkward. If you guys aren't both in that awkward state, then it's more uncomfortable for one person. So you made it more uncomfortable for your date. There's a reason that at events, like, we don't take photos of people while they're eating. It's because that's when people feel super vulnerable. Nobody wants a camera in their face while they're eating. Nobody wants to be the only one eating on a date. That's weird. It would make her feel much more uncomfortable. And to find out that you ate at the restaurant right before she got there makes it even more awkward because you couldn't wait 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever for her. That makes it more awkward for her, and you didn't care about that. That's the perception here. I'm not saying that's the way it was. It wasn't your intention. It was your intention to get it out of the way so that you could focus on having a good time there. But in doing so, you made your date meal feel more awkward as well. Freaking keep a power bar or something in your car that you can munch on the way to wherever you're going. That way you get your hangry side out of the way, and then you can do something that's not disrespectful. She didn't take it well. Now you know that's not an okay thing to do, and you can move on and have learned and grown from that. There are a couple of other things in this story that this is a unique individual, right? Potentially neurodivergent. They have their own isms, like wanting to show up 45 minutes early to be able to scope out the place, get the best eats, and just feel comfortable there first. Could be a neurodivergent thing. And wanting to eat before people get there could be a neurodivergent thing too. This could be individual things. But knowing that in a dating environment, it makes the other party feel more uncomfortable is something you have to take note of, because it's going to happen again. This is going to come up again, right? So just take note of it. An appetizer probably would have been more acceptable. If your date shows up and you've got a half-eaten appetizer there or something, that probably would have been more acceptable than eating an entire meal and just sitting there with a cocktail afterwards and being like, no, I'm just going to watch you eat and talk because I want to watch you eat. That's watching people eat is one of my fun things to do. Also, how a person eats says a lot about who they are. So I want to watch you eat and determine if you're good spouse material or not. That's probably what the date felt like, you know? If we had gone on a date, Candy Thunder, and I had been like, nah, I'm not going to eat. I'm just going to watch you eat. What would you have done? She said, I would have ate.
When I was 20.
Okay, there's a good point. She said when I was 20, it would be different.
When I was 20, I'm using the microphone.
What is that Candy Thunder's voice coming from, like, in my headphones?
When I was 16 to like 22, I would have been uncomfortable. But then I decided I'm fucking hungry and I'm going to eat when I want. And I ate popcorn chicken when you brought it home in like 30 seconds. I didn't hesitate and I didn't share.
Today?
Yeah. So I would have ate. Also, I recommend always having a stash of Belvita bars on hand.
Belvita bars, Power Bar, whatever. Have something on hand so that you don't have to put yourself in that kind of situation.
Or like stop at a gas station or swing through a drive-through and get a little snack or something, like a little snacky poo.
We don't know OP's age, and maybe that has. We don't know OP's age or his date's age, and maybe that does have something to do with it. Maybe, you know, in your earlier 20s or before you got to that point where you just stopped giving a shit about what other people thought in that scenario, it did matter more. So, you know, maybe it's an age thing. No echo with the mic. I know, we got it fixed. Heck yeah, Angel. That's your conscience speaking. Yes. Candy Thunder is my two conscience sides are Candy Thunder and Tony Spark. It just depends on what they're trying to get me to do. Sue Becca says they're both using the mic. Victory. I know. If I had confetti here, I'll just round up some confetti here.
Somebody said, why does God sound like Candy Thunder?
Heck yeah. Hey, Robin, good to see you there. Yeah, Angel, yes, it is. Heather's, yeah, you got to gift a sub. I think that was Jocelyn, I think, gifted those through. Heck yeah. Kristen, Google Queen Cat, Rage, Michelle, Heather, Mary, Becky, Morlock, RGM, Chael, Tosh, thank you guys so much. We did hit our gift goal here, so let's... Oh, you want me to do that while I'm reading off the names? Oh, yeah, forgot. Hold up. Confetti fire. All right, here we go. Let me read them names off here. A.K. Mary, leading the board here today. The way that it sounds when the confetti pieces hit the top of the helmet is like ding, 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 ding. It's like rain beginning. Michelle, Heather, TLS Journey, Ann, Hodoxin, Annabelle, RC1, Sue Ann, Theo Dino Rex, Southern Country, Jasmine McMaster. We've got Mina, I don't know how to say this. Minini X247, Callie Prue, RJM Chael, RK Schaefer, LV, Juju Girl, Susan R. Smart. Pivoting to the phone. Oh, you didn't scroll. Yeah, Pam K, Becky Morlock, Jay Kels, and Embracker. Hockey Mom of E, Elise Newman, Love Me 115, Tony Spark, Diana 5520, Kimberly Clevenger, Dry Goose, Joyful Stranger, MJ Newcomb, Kimberly P, Kat Jono, Piotr, Don Banks, Candy Thunder, OMG Cookies, LMD 10, Chloe White, Michael Castella, Michaela Castella, Mongao, It's Only Tosh, Amber Hickey, Donna 12661, Prep Girl, Effulgent One, Blessed Wonder Woman, and Julie Jules. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, in that shop right there, yeah. It's harder to hear when it's closed down. It is fun though. We tried to put a mic inside of it for a while. That didn't really work out, but it's fun. It's cool. I'm going to get another one set up so that we can just have it for the VIP live here. And then we got to do the spicy reward story. Is that right? Cake reward story. All right, we are going to read our cake reward story before we bounce off of here. This is Just Because. It's a bop. I can't not dance. I'm sorry. All right, we've got a 2K fire just because. Also hit the likes goal, 102% there. Heck yeah, congratulations. Nice work, everybody. With the likes goal there, heck yes. Okay, I'm going to dive to the cake reward story that you all have just unlocked. Casey, my beard pokes out of the bottom of it. Yeah, I know. No. They haven't made that custom astronaut helmet for me yet. We'll get there. Okay, here we go. Cake reward story number 2. This is a follower submitted cake story, and it is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Intentionally Making the Wrong Cake? I know the title doesn't sound great, but hear me out. 5 years ago, my dad got remarried after my mom passed away following a lengthy illness. I was happy that my dad had found someone that made him happy, even if I wasn't thrilled about his new bride. She's always been kind to me, but I haven't ever gotten used to how she is with my dad. But hey, if he's happy, I can live with it. I recently visited my dad and stepmom, to celebrate my dad's birthday. They had planned to get together at their house with some of their friends and her kids and grandkids. She always goes a little crazy when planning an event, so she was freaking out leading up to the party and was particularly rude and mean to my dad. I had told her that I would take care of making the cake. She reluctantly agreed, but said, "Make sure it's gluten-free for my allergies." I told her, no problem, and rolled my eyes. Her gluten allergy always seems to act up or be an issue at very convenient times for her, so I decided to do a little test. I got all the ingredients for the cake and made a beautiful cake for the party. It came time to sing happy birthday and cut the cake. Everyone took a slice, including Stepmonster, and they all raved about how good it was. Stepmonster even had a second slice. After the party was over, the three of us were cleaning up and she found the empty cake mix and saw that it wasn't gluten-free. She flipped out. She started yelling at me for not taking her allergies seriously and how she knew something was off because now she doesn't feel good. I apologized and said I forgot. They went off to bed, and apparently she spent the whole night sick in the bathroom and berating my dad all night like it was somehow his fault. My flight was leaving the next day, and she seemed more than happy to have me leave and mentioned no less than 5 times about how tired she was from being sick all night. I know it probably wasn't the right thing to do, but I had enough, and I feel like now we all know that her allergy is just a convenient excuse. Am I the astronaut? I'm kind of torn on this because if it is a real allergy that just hadn't kicked in yet, then yeah. But if it is an act, and it's just an act for attention or control or whatever it is, then yeah, that's some bullshit. But how quickly do gluten sensitivities kick in? I guess that's the question. How quickly? Kayla, yes, for risking it. Should have thrown the box out for sure. It's kind of how celiac works. Like it's instant. Fast. Okay. So, given what we know about saw it in the camera. Given what we know about her gluten allergy now, would you say it's legit, or is it potentially an act? Is it just a sensitivity? You know, in a few minutes, if it's something you shouldn't have. So maybe it's just like a mild sensitivity. Yes, it's legit. So she definitely has it. Well, I think we've got Freudian slip. Yeah. And Candy Thunder just raised her hand and I pointed at the microphone. I'm like, yeah, there it is. Okay, Candy Thunder has something to say here. Here we go. Google Queen Cat says, I'm allergic to weed. It depends on what form it's in. Okay. Oh, wait, here comes the voice of God again.
Okay, but what if...
Wait. Tilt the mic down. You got it.
It's the dad's birthday. So
yes.
Shouldn't the dad have gotten to choose, like, shouldn't he have been able to choose his own cake? And why does her gluten allergy factor into the fact that it's dad's birthday? She should have had a gluten-free cake on the side for herself, and she should have bought it herself because it was the dad's birthday. So he should have bought the cake that the dad wanted, made that cake, and no gluten allergy should have ever factored into the equation. If you want to have a cake at somebody's birthday and you have a gluten issue, buy your own cake because it's your issue. If they had gotten along and she wasn't a step monster, he probably would have made 2 cakes, gluten-free and
gluten not free.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes God makes some really good points.
But I think the other part of this is somebody that said that it could take time for it to kick in, but it's very convenient that it wasn't until she found out that there was no gluten in it, or that it had gluten in it, that she was like, oh no, I feel sick. How could you do that? It's very convenient.
Yeah. So, I mean, hell, you can't say now because, I mean, who would in commitment to an act lock themselves in the bathroom and pretend to have the Hershey squirts all night? Who would do that? That's commitment. That's a lot of commitment. Maybe dad wanted gluten-free as well. It's possible, but Candy Thunder, aka Voice of God, makes some really good points there. That dad should have been able to choose, and she's just forcing that onto other people. I don't know. It's risky no matter what. Like OP here didn't know for sure that it was an act. It was an experiment, right? So the experiment was to see if there was a reaction or not. And if you're intentionally giving somebody the immediate Hershey squirts, then that's kind of an asshole thing to do, especially since this person wasn't terrible to you, said that she was always kind to you, just didn't like how she was with your dad. So, I mean, I get it, but it's just risky. I don't know. Messing with people's allergies and sensitivities could have very, very, very terrible unintended side effects. And I would be afraid to do it myself, because if something really, really bad happened, you're going to get thrown in the slammer because you made a cake with intentionally the wrong shit. I don't know. It doesn't seem worth it. It doesn't seem worth it. Experimenting with health is an asshole move. But the point remains, if you need something that is unique, I think it's on you to make sure that you have that for yourself and you're not forcing that onto everyone else. Ms. Berry says, my husband is gluten intolerant and expects nothing tailored. Agreed. I think that it would have been on stepmonster, as OP calls her, to make sure that she had that for herself and something else for everybody else. So I don't know, it's a weird situation. I would be afraid to do it on my own, but it's a weird situation there. All right, that is the show for today, ladies and gentlemen. I do have outro notes, which for the first time ever I'm going to remember to read. Tony Sparks, give me a round of applause there because, yes, it just doesn't happen. Next live stream will be the multi-stream, which will be Monday, January 22nd at 9 p.m., where we will be streaming on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch. I tried to include Facebook, but that's still a little glitchy, so I'm not doing that again. Not yet, at least. We do actually have another live stream tomorrow night for YouTube members. We have a member-exclusive live coming up tomorrow night, so YouTube members, mark your calendar for that one. It's going to be a good time. Make sure that you are subscribed on the YouTube side. We have a lot more videos posting now, and here in less than 2 hours, Piano Man Part 3 and the full 3-part compilation comes out as well. Very excited for you to hear it and see where it goes. I don't know. Could be cool. Would like to do a lot more of that kind of stuff, but it kind of depends on how this one takes off. So we'll see what happens. The VIP Live is going to come up in about 10 to 15 minutes, and we're going to be spinning the Wheel of Thunder during that live. So we'll see you all then. Before I do that, to take us out here, Fane, Candace A, Juju Girl, and Hodoxin, OMG Cookies, RJ McHale, Ann, MJ Newcomb, Kara, Lauren B, Kimberly P, Susan R.S., Tracy, Ad Dyers, Trucker Woman, Jessica Buchanan, Glow Corona, Tosh, Lene Saliuk, Auntie Noni, Becky Morlock, Audra, welcome to the Gosh Heckin' fam. There were some other fan members up there that I've got to find too. Pam K, Susan R.S., Lauren B, Sassy Cassie, Linda E. Montalvo, Murupi, Akia, Angel with the auto-renew subscription there. Glad to have you in the Gosh Heckin' fam still. Lisa Stevenson, Lauren B there again, Pam K, Robin, Gracie Wolfson, Christina Wetterman, Juju Girl, and Alicia Bishop, new members of the Gosh Heckin' fam. Glad to have you here, all sent by Angel. Angel sending out those gifted subs. Heck yeah. Mama Dim, Jenny on the block, Robin, Angel, Kristen Fleury Stevens, Google Queen Cat, Rach, Michelle, Heather, Mary. Thank you guys so much for the love. Greatly appreciate it. Artful Cheryl, Mrs. M. Bash, Lauren B. Fane, Wendy, Irish, Brannigan Minardi, Joyful Stranger. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here today. Always a great time. And VIPs, we'll see you here in 10 to 15. Don't forget, 7 p.m. tonight, Piano Man.
And hey, we made it up to number 17.
Hey, climbed the ranks. Look at that. We're getting back in that game. Heck yeah. Always a good time. We'll see you on the VIP here shortly. And don't forget, Piano Man, 7 p.m. tonight. I'm glitching out while I'm dancing. It's happening. Maybe those are just my dance moves.